Okay. All right. We're live, people. We've got October Red in the building. We haven't spoke for a little while, so we've got a lot to catch up. How we doing today?
Oh, all the better for being on your channel. Thank you very much for having me. It's a pleasure to be back.
Appreciate it. It's a pleasure to have you back. You know what I mean? Like, definitely, definitely. We've done some good link ups, man. So, and there's a lot to catch up with October. A lot to catch up.
Trust me.
You know. Do you want to start or?
Now I'll let you start. I've been just running my mouth with Savage Dan, creating havoc with Boxer.
Oh,
So
okay. So how did that? Because Dan's a bit crazy. What was on offer there?
yeah, it was good. It was just obviously to talking a little bit about Bouatsi Aziz, kind of like saying from both points of view, we can, the conspiracy theory around around Dan Aziz, saying that yeah, nobody's disputing that he's been injured, but because of stuff that's happened previously, it cast doubt on it, you know. So it's kind of like going over that, but Savage told the party line and said, yeah, he was injured. I see why people are saying what they're saying, but he definitely was injured.
Well, there's two school of thoughts. Joshua Bawatsi believes he was trying to maybe get more time to prepare.
Oh,
Is that where it's going, or what's his reasoning?
well, he was just obviously saying that the date and the location was the best for the time period. So because I was saying why wasn't it back at the O2, and they're talking about date and location, and as long as it's in London, both of them can get it on. He
Does
wasn't
it?
saying about extra time to like train or anything like that. I hadn't heard about that one.
Well, what I didn't understand what Boatsi was saying then, because to me the only reason why
Mm.
most people think it was delayed was the ticket sales.
Tickets. Yeah,
Because like,
well, he refuted that. Savage refuted that. I did ask him about that, and he refuted it flat out. He said, "Nah, no, it had nothing to do with ticket sales. It's even my man was injured."
he's saying it's got nothing to do with ticket sales,
Hmm.
but they went from the O2 twenty
That's what I
thousand
said.
to the OVO
Yeah,
12,000.
12,000. Yeah,
I mean,
you
unless
know.
like Savage can bring other examples of when that's happened in British boxing, and let's remember, Eddie Hearn called
Hmm.
it. Eddie
Yeah, I
Hearn
remember.
called. He did call it. He did
Hmm.
call it. You know, so well, at least they're getting it on there. At least they're getting it on. That's the main thing.
Yeah.
Yeah, yeah.
Who are you tipping towards in that?
Um, I don't know. Like to me, Boatsi has regressed so much. I think a year, maybe I don't know, a while back, I would have called Boatsi, but I think he's regressed. I don't think he's going to win a world title.
Damn.
And
Serious.
there was a stage I thought he was a cert. I thought, yeah, this guy's
Hmm.
going to win a title, but he's
Hmm.
too inactive, Red. He's too inactive.
Hmm. Hmm.
He needs like, and that has been one thing that has been proven is inactivity is going to stop fighters going any further than where they are at that moment.
Yep. Facts. I mean,
Dead
I
in it.
look at Anthony Joshua. Look how active he is now. No belts, but look how active he is and what's happening. He's improving.
That's right. That you
So
see,
yeah.
the first two fights he had this year, he
Mhm.
had to deal with the struggle, and then this
Mhm.
one he just looked like
Sure.
he looked tremendous. He looked tremendous. He looked tremendous.
Yeah.
And a
Sure.
lot of
I like
people,
I like the way everyone was backtracking. Oh yeah, but he sparred while in before.
yeah, it was about 8 years ago or something. How many years ago?
Mhm.
Years back.
I don't know.
Yeah, I mean that's crazy. That's crazy. I mean, Ryan Garcia's fought Devin 6 times. You still want to see the fight. That
Yeah,
like
for real.
well, Ryan doesn't want it, so
No, I think he's confused.
very confused young man. Like
Yeah.
he's one of them kids who talks a lot to overcompensate for what
Right.
he's insecure about.
Mhm.
You know,
Yep. Like the midlife crisis car.
that's the one. Yeah, yeah, yeah. You see, like what Ryan will do when you press him about a fight, like with Devin or anyone worthwhile fighting, he'll talk about
Hmm.
they can't sell.
Yeah.
That's
Yeah.
deflecting. That's all that is. That's deflecting.
Yep. Yeah, I hear you. He's proper gaslighting in it, isn't he?
Yeah, 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 yeah. 100%. 100%. I see you got Shawn George on there.
Oh yeah, I'm hopefully Shawn George will be coming on tomorrow.
You know,
I'm interested. Sorry,
you know what I remember him for
when he used to fight himself.
is when he ended Chris Bird's career. I remember
Hmm.
that. Like basically like Chris was at heavy and then Chris lost this ridiculous amount of weight. And he went down to I think they fought did they fight at 168 or 175?
This is where I've got to do my homework, so I'm going to let you talk to me.
Yeah. And basically, you see Chris like looking really small, and everyone say, "Oh, Chris lost weight. Maybe he can come back as a super middle or a light heavy or whatever weight they found at." And
Hmm.
he got like Chris was an Sean was an underdog, and he beat the crap out of Chris. I think Chris dislocated his shoulder. It was a big upset.
Okay.
It was a big upset at the time. I want
The-
to find out what weight it was at actually. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Sean
yeah,
George.
Shawn George. It was Spencer Oliver that gave me a full rundown of all of his accolades when I was at the Zhang Joyce 2 press conference. He says, you really need to get him on your channel. He's done so much in boxing and he's fluent in Mandarin and he trains the Olympic Chinese team and this, that, and that. And this is all new to me. All of this is new information. So I never got him on the channel, but I approached him and said, oh, I know I'm going to miss you now and you go in and whatever, but I'd really like to have you as a guest. And he was like, we'll exchange details and we'll get something sorted. And you obviously know when Zhang Joyce 2 was. And I'm finally, hopefully, all being well, getting him on tomorrow. But
Okay.
he's one of the guests that I have to study. I have to study him before I speak to him properly.
Yeah, because he's training. Who does he train right now?
Zili Zhang, and obviously he's part of the Chinese Olympic team, I believe.
Okay, yeah, that's interesting,
Mm.
man.
And
Yeah, yeah,
he's
yeah.
aggressive. He proper stuck it on Joe Joyce on the top table, and yeah, he was really like forthright and just basically said, we're gonna hurt you. And I
Ah,
thought,
he's with
wow,
Zhang. He's with Zhang. He's with Zhang.
yeah, 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 yeah,
What was I thinking about, man? Yeah, he's with Zhang.
yeah.
Yeah.
So that's what we're going to speak about that, because I reckon he's going to be quite opinionated, and it'll be good to listen to his opinions on the heavyweight division because now we know that Zhang is possibly going to be back out and on a Saudi card with the potential opponent of Deontay Wilder, which
Wow. Mm.
that's not looking. That's yeah.
Um, I said it might not happen, and I can't remember. There was another outlet who said, "Yeah, it sounds good, but it's shaky. Like, why would you fight Deontay Wilder and you are the is it the WBO interim champion,
Because it's a good name to have on your scalp. It's
and
a
then
good
you lose
scalp
it,
to have on your record.
and then he gets chinned and blows his title shot, goes to the
But
back of
what
the
if he
queue.
doesn't? What if he doesn't get chinned though? What if he
Well,
beats
that's
Wilder?
the risk. Well, there you go. If he doesn't, then we'll be celebrating him. But that's the risk, isn't it?
Because people were favouring Wilder to beat Parker, and I said nope. I said that's the banana skin. The Wilder Parker fight is the banana skin. Parker's going to beat him
Now, I didn't see it as a banana skin. Why did you see it as a banana skin?
because everyone had Wilder as the favourite.
Yeah, yeah, pretty much,
That's why.
pretty much.
Um, and I said the same. I said Dubois would beat Miller as well.
See, yeah, I always talk about inactivity, and when I need to remember that, I was
Mm,
look how inactive Wilder was. Now I think, oh man, how did I pick Wilder to win the fight?
yeah, yeah.
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
He's always comfortable with losing rounds. We've seen him lose several rounds because he relies on the backhand. Parker took that away beautifully. Every time he threw it, Parker dipped out the way so it just went over his shoulder. Every single time he threw it. And the shots that did catch Parker, Parker ate them,
I tell you what,
ate
yeah,
them.
yeah, he did. And Wilder at 38 is
Hmm.
unlikely to learn much more about the game. And he,
Yeah.
like Conor McGregor pointed out, he kept trying to go over the top with the right instead of coming
Hmm.
underneath. I think when he told him to use the uppercut as well and use other
Yeah.
punches. And someone's going to study that he's going to keep trying, and that he's going to get timed with a left hook, and he's going to get put
Yeah.
on the floor, and he's
Yeah.
going to have all to do to stay in that fight. It's
Yeah.
just a matter of time. Just a matter of
Yeah.
time.
It was beautiful to watch though, because I like the way that Parker controlled the fight. He kept it at his pace. He was able to bully Wilder. And Parker did something that he used to do years ago, but he only used to do it when he was backed into a corner. He'd like fight to the death. You saw him like really let his shots go. He used to do that years ago before he joined up with Andy Lee, but he did it on the back foot previously. But we saw him in this fight do it on the front foot, and it was just marvelous. He was like really aggressive, come
Yeah.
forward, and was comfortable with letting his shots go. And I was just like, yeah, this is to me. It was really enjoyable fight, enjoyable.
You know what it was, yeah? I was watching the build up to the fight, and he
Hmm.
had the Saudi headscarf headwear on, and I looked. He looked so confident, and it weren't fake. You
Hmm.
know, some people fake. This look. He looked so confident. I was looking,
Mm,
and then the interviewer asked him because Wilder was saying that that Joe ducked him when they were supposed to unify straps,
oh, when he
and
had this, yeah, yeah,
right. And Joe went absolutely not and looked at the interviewer like he was a crazy person. I said,
yeah,
wow, Joe
mm,
is up for this, bro. Joe
yeah,
is up for this.
proper up for it. And I could say
Yeah,
the same thing with Anthony Joshua and Otto Wallin. I was at the initial press conference, and
yeah,
Otto Wallin was extremely confident and almost like he was trying to obviously gold Joshua. I get it, got under his skin a little bit, as he does.
yeah,
Joshua can get a bit, he can switch when he wants to. But then when I saw the actual fight week, I started to see the demeanor of Otto Wallin start to fade.
yeah,
And it faded that much that when it got to the weigh-in, I remember I messaged David Ganser, one of the 258 guys, and I said, Joshua's going to murder him tomorrow. He's going to
yeah,
murder him.
yeah,
And then when I saw them get in the ring, Wallin just looked down at the floor, when the ref's reading you your rights, as it were. And
yeah,
Anthony Joshua was staring in his face. Wallin was looking down at the floor. And I said, he's going to get totaled.
yeah,
He's going to
yeah,
get
yeah,
totaled. And that's all she wrote.
You know
Forced him
where I
to
saw that with
retire.
Joshua? You know where I saw that with Joshua? With the Charles Martin fight. Charles Martin, I walked the earth like a god, and he
Oh,
had
yeah.
all the talk. And then at the weigh-in, he looked at
Yeah.
Joshua, and I said, "Oh dear, oh."
Yeah.
Sometimes you can spot it. You can just spot it. You can spot it. You
Yeah.
know, just
It
lose it.
was, yeah. Yeah, it was just like the fear of God had been put into him. Callum Smith, the blood drains out of him when he's in the ring. He goes extremely pale.
Yeah,
I don't know why he does that, but because he wins his fights, he's a good fighter. But I saw the same thing happen with Wallin. The colour just drained out of him because I think AJ popped his nose early. I think it might have been even round one. And you
yeah,
saw him already starting to rub his nose. I thought, this is it. He's got him.
yeah.
Um, I mean,
Apparently,
fair play.
he told Lennox like off camera. He said like apparently that the strength difference between AJ and Fury is not even comparable.
Really?
Yeah, that's what he said. Yeah, it's not even comparable.
Oh dear.
Yeah, yeah, yeah. He said
But
it's
to
not
be fair, Gareth A. Davis says that AJ is a bigger puncher than Tyson Fury, and that's Gareth A. Davis.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
So what does
yeah.
that tell you?
What does it tell you exactly? See, that's the thing.
Yeah.
Like, you see Wilder. Like, I made a vid. I said the only way you can come back. Like sometimes, I remember as a kid getting bullied. Sometimes it's got to get really bad until you start
Yeah.
fighting back, and then you know, but you've got to face up to it, man. I don't like feeling like this, and then when you start fighting back,
Yep.
and you prepare yourself, like my dad made me go gym and boxing and stuff, and then and then and Wilder has got to accept. He's got to accept that, yo, I'm in a bad place.
Uh,
I'm inactive. My skills are deteriorating. His legs look so skinny.
but
It
his
was
legs
like
have always been skinny though, haven't they? I know
leg,
he come in really light.
but it's the way he was moving. He was like he just looked he looked awful. His balance looked awful.
Oh,
Like when
his
he was
balance. Oh, yeah.
trying to set for
These are
that right
things that have
hand.
always been there, though. These are things that I've always seen throughout all of his fights. And let's
Yeah,
not get it twisted. The beatings, because he did get some beatings from Fury, is gonna have took it out of him. And equally, the beatings that Fury got from Wilder is gonna touch Fury as well. I mean, these are heavyweights. How
yeah.
many years are you supposed to take these type of punches without it having some kind of effect?
Well, see, everyone is saying that Usyk is gonna, not everyone, but a lot of people are saying Usyk's gonna beat Fury. But Usyk was saying that sparring them big sparring partners is taking a whole lot out of him working with,
Okay.
and it does. It does. Like it, heavyweights are no joke, man.
Yeah.
Heavyweights are
Yeah.
no joke. And he says he has to eat all his food just to maintain the weight. Even Joshua said, right, with all the training, he's got to eat all his food. And he says sometimes it's like, oh man,
Yeah.
eating's like a job. It becomes like a job because and sorry to keep yapping, yeah, right. James Ali Bashir was at the weigh-in with Wilder, and um,
Okay.
and he said Wilder was putting stuff in his pockets to make himself heavier.
You joking?
Yeah, that's what apparently. Yeah, 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 yeah,
Why
yeah.
would he be that light?
He can't put the weight on properly. He can't put it on effectively. You can't
That's
put the weight
still
on it.
weird.
Even though he's tall and he's cut and stuff, he can't put the weight on effectively. And like, you know, I don't know. I don't know.
That's
Yeah,
interesting.
that's crazy. Yeah, it's crazy. I don't think he wants the Jang fight next.
Well,
And
why, son? I don't think I'd want it next if I was him either.
why would you? Like, let's keep it real. Like, if he loses this, his career. I'm not saying it's over,
Oh,
but
yeah.
who's really gonna? He needs a confidence booster.
Yeah, I
He was
agree.
a big favorite in that, but he needs a confidence booster. And like, if he was to walk away from that fight, I know I'll probably say some stupid crap on Twitter, but I wouldn't blame him. That's not cowardly. That's trying to save your career. Like
Common sense, yeah.
Yeah, Joe Joyce, he's gonna have a little soft touch when he comes back. He even said it.
Yeah, well, he needs to, obviously with the injury and obviously he's the first knockdown by the heavy hitter himself, Zhilei Zhang. I'd suggest that he has an easier touch as well. That's only, common sense. And, with the Saudi matchups, they can do that, can't they?
Yeah,
Um,
yeah, yeah,
because,
yeah.
they did give, you say, for example, Philip Hergovich with Mark Demori. I mean,
Oh,
he just turned up for the check, didn't he? When they were saying, "Oh, how are you going to win this fight?" Well, I'm just going to be myself. Yeah, all right then. Thanks for that. Ka-ching, and then gone. And
because
the only one that surprised me was Ajit Kabayel, because Ajit Kabayel just seemed as if he wasn't really that bothered.
yeah,
And
yeah,
then he
yeah.
just went in there and done my man over.
That was
So,
arguably the performance of the night,
okay. Well, I didn't
because
see that coming, but I hadn't studied Ajit enough to know what caliber or pedigree that he had. So I got that wrong because I thought Matt Madoff would have just dominated him. So I was wrong with that.
he destroyed that guy. He
Yeah,
destroyed him with pure
yeah.
technique. Just
David and
destroyed him.
Goliath.
Yeah,
Mm,
slayed him. Slay. He'll never be the same again.
yeah, that's crazy.
Right
He's put up a
from-
picture on Twitter about operation on his hand, broke his hand or something.
Yeah, maybe so, but he got destroyed. Saying what you want, he got destroyed. He got destroyed.
Mm,
I mean, what the hand effect like hurts your body because it was the body shots
yeah,
breaking him down. I didn't see him show out
mm,
with his hand or anything like that. He
yeah.
just couldn't land
He
the
did. He
shots.
broke
Yeah,
him down, didn't he?
yeah.
Mm,
The body shots just took him apart. And
I've got a crazy one for you though. I've got a crazy
okay,
one. This is out of this world, and you got to forgive me for this, but I think Joshua Buatsi beats Dimitri Bivol.
all right.
Yeah, I
Now,
know. So what? It's a wild take. I know it's
we
a
have,
wild take, but
we have to discuss this.
yeah, I have these wild takes. I mean, fair enough. I should wait to see how he does with Dan Aziz,
Okay.
but I've seen Dimitri Bivol in a couple of fights now. Lyndon Arthur and Craig Richards, and Craig Richards touched him up more than Lyndon Arthur did. Yeah,
Yeah, yeah. He did. He did.
but I do believe if we get the Buatsi, let's see how he gets on with Dan Aziz, but I do believe that Dimitri Bivol gets beat by one of them. But yeah, somebody's just put no, no, no. It's I do say these out of pocket things. It's
And it's
just a
not out of
thought.
pocket. It's not out of pocket. See, what
Come
one
on
thing
then,
is,
talk to me, talk to me, talk to me.
look, if you have a gut feeling about something doing boxing, the worst thing is to do is suppress it because you think everyone's gonna laugh. That's the worst thing. Because once you
Yeah, I
go
don't
against
care.
yeah, yeah. Once you go against your instincts, then you become a clone. You know, you got to be like
Mm,
there's not like yeah. Listen, if he done the work effectively like, and does the work, he could give Dimitri Bivol a tough fight.
yeah,
When's the last
yeah.
time Bivol scored a stoppage?
That's what I'm saying. Well, he hasn't, has he? And that pressure's on him, and you could see the frustration in him really trying to put the pressure on Arthur. Yeah, I think he dropped him, but he didn't stop him, and you could almost hear the frustration in his voice that he wants that stoppage. And Eddie likes his fighters to get those stoppages.
Yep, 100%. I don't see like they were talking about Bivol challenging Jaya Pataya, and that could even
Why,
be
sir?
more.
No,
I
sir.
don't.
I wouldn't want to see that now. I said I'd like to because of the styles, the stylistically, but
Jaya
Apatai is way too aggressive.
would tear him apart. Jai would tear that guy apart. That's this isn't what's the other guy? Ramirez, some just big
Yeah,
dude.
yeah.
Jai, I think Jai would take him out.
Mm.
In my
Jai's a
opinion.
Jai's a problem for a lot of people, and being around him, he's the only fighter that's when you're standing by someone, you have to take a step back.
Yeah,
I don't usually do that, but when he walked up to me, I had to take a step back because this geezer's got some weird energy about him that he
yeah,
just wants to take everyone's head off. And I've said it. I've openly said it before. He's the only fighter that's made me like take a step back. Like I wouldn't want to be left alone with you. That's
I
that
see
kind of
I see
demonic
Eddie.
energy that he's got.
I see Eddie look like he's gonna chin me. Like I see Eddie
Yeah.
around. Yeah, yeah. I seen it.
Look at his eyes.
Yeah, 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 yeah,
Look at his eyes. It's in his eyes. His eyes say, I want a body on my record."
yeah. Like Ellis, he got he got
Yeah, yeah.
grenaded by that
You know
left.
what? Fair play to him. He showed up. He turned up. You know, um, yeah. I mean, what rounds was Jordan Thompson?
Was that fourth?
Well, okay, so kudos to Jordan then for lasting four.
Yeah, yeah. In retrospect, now it wasn't such a bad performance.
Do you know what I
Yeah,
mean?
yeah,
But
yeah.
how do you see him? How do you see Jaya Patai fairing up? Because Savage Dan was saying, "Oh, the fight I want to see is Riakpor Patai," and I said, "Yo, funny you should say that because that's the fight that should have happened." We want to see it as well. But how do you see that fight going? Because Richard's got an evil streak to him as well.
Richard not as savage as that, bro. Richard's not as savage as that.
Mm,
If Richard was as savage as that, he would have demanded that Ben make that fight. 100,
okay.
simple as that. You know what I
I
mean?
can't argue with that. I can't
Yeah,
argue with that.
yeah. There's no way he would allow me or anyone to say he ducked. If he was that savage, he would have said, "No, I
Mm,
need to." The first bid is today,
mm.
but
Pull that
instead
on the
Richard
day, innit?
making up this story that Eddie took the fight from him. It doesn't make sense.
Mm. Yeah, that was
It
wild.
doesn't make sense. You know. I know it's not very popular with some of the Londoners I know and stuff because they like Richard and Richard's cool and
Yeah, of
you know
course, but yeah. It's a
and
tough one. That one is.
I don't see Richard beating Jay. No, I don't see it. I don't see
I'll silently sit that one out, innit?
it. I think he could do better than Ellis. I think Jay would have to. I don't know, but Jay don't really show respect to no one right now.
No, there's no respect. There's
Yeah,
no respect. There's no respect. Don't get me wrong, he's cool. But like I said, he's got something in him that I haven't. I've been around a lot of fighters, and there's something in him that it's not a dog. I don't know what it is, but he wants to hurt you.
yeah, yeah, yeah,
This is
yeah,
more than boxing with him. Like I don't know. Maybe he gets a thrill out of just seeing people splattered on the floor. Do you understand? He's got, there's a vibe about him. There's a killer instinct in him that is you can connect with it if it's there.
I see Jordan Thompson hit him with a right, bang, and he come back like how dare you do that?
Yeah, yeah.
I'm like,
There you go. There you go.
yeah, yeah,
There
yeah,
you go. And he
yeah.
punished him for that.
And,
Punished him.
and you see the thing is, Red, yeah, that doesn't happen to Jordan. Normally, when he hits something, he gets a proper reaction, like, oh, that hurt, or someone's on
Yeah.
the
Or they go down.
or they go down. Yeah,
So
yeah,
imagine how that would feel as a fighter. You give a geezer the biggest shot that you've got, and he's like coming forward to say, "Let's have it then."
Hey,
That's the
I want
first time I understand why some people sit down on their stool and don't come back out for the next round.
100%, 100%. This is what I wanted to ask you about: is Matty Harris and
Hmm.
Peter Fury and Matty Harris?
Yeah, yeah,
Because you got the exclusive.
yeah.
How do you think that pans out?
Matty Harris used to be with Peter Fury for a little bit when he was an amateur.
That's right. I read you. I saw you.
Um,
Yeah,
so they know each other. Uh, it's a good matchup. Peter's doing what Peter does, is stripping back some of who you are to build you to be a better fighter, to work with the attributes that you've got. Um, he wants to make sure that Matty is like ready before they put him back out again. So you can't like do something, say for example, in 4 weeks with a fighter.
yeah,
Um, he feels as if he's got to strip him back and build him. And Matty's really happy. I speak to him all the time, and he's just waiting for a fight date.
yeah. You know what I feel Peter's gonna do.
Go on.
He's gonna keep him active and make sure,
Yeah.
like he gets the rounds in. And just keep him active, not
Yep.
put him in too hard. Like no
Yep.
British title by the end of the year. Give him about two,
Yep.
3 years, and then British title.
Yeah, because he's only a baby.
He's a baby. He's a baby.
I
He's a
know
baby.
Moses Atuma is even younger baby.
Yeah,
Um, and I like the way that Moses has been promoted. I think that Frank used maybe the he used Daniel Dubois was probably rushed, and there was that blueprint there. And Frank says, right, okay, we've got another kid here now. and I'm going to build him through activity and like just build him so he's taking slight little step ups as he pushes through his career. I like that model that he's got with Moses. I think it's, I like to see it because I see what he's doing. He's really building him properly as a
Yeah,
heavyweight with, not the whatever Olympic background or whatever. I don't know what his amateurs records like, but I think he's building him really well. And to be fair, Wasserman said the same. They wanted to do that for Matty. Obviously,
yeah,
he went left, but that's Matty was saying about he wasn't sparring. He's took full blame for that himself. He said it in our conversation. It's down to him. He's not blaming anybody, and he knows where he went wrong because he dropped that kid. He could have won that fight. He
so
should have won that
why
fight.
hasn't he been sparring? Why hasn't he? Did he say why he hasn't been sparring?
No,
Okay, that's interesting.
no. So
You got to spar, man. You got to do the hard. You got to do the sparring.
yeah, yeah. He knows. He learned the hard way. But I was watching Buddy McGirt and Pernell Whitaker because I was speaking to Buddy McGirt the other day. How many fights had Buddy had before he was put in with Pernell?
Oh yeah, yeah, loads, man. He floored Pernell. Did he floor Pernell?
Yeah, he knocked him down.
Yeah, he did floor him. Yeah, yeah,
But
yeah,
we look at fighters, and Buddy said to me the best thing. I says, "What was the biggest learning fight for you?" He said, "The
The
one I
first one,
lost."
Frankie Warren. He
Yeah, he said
fought
the
someone
the
named
one I
Frankie
lost.
Warren twice.
Yeah,
The first one he lost.
his
What Warren
first loss.
swarmed? Yeah, he
Mm,
swarmed all over him. Swarmed all,
yeah,
and Frankie was a tough
yep,
fighter in the circuit. Yeah,
yep. And he said that's where he learned. He said, "I didn't. You don't. This is what I'm saying. You don't learn by continuously winning because
no,
it's
you
when you
don't.
lose that's when you learn." And I
Yeah,
think that's why I'm like, yeah, obviously any fighter's going to be pissed off if they lose. Not the fighters are not going to want to lose. They're not going to want to loss on their record. But what would you rather? You have a lesson early on in your career, or you keep on knocking these people out. You're not developing yourself because you believe that you can just rely on power. And then what happens? You get caught short when you've got 10, 15 fights in and you get slapped up. What are you going to do then?
I've seen both the fights. Like, but Buddy made great adjustments on his boxing, on his spacing
Mm.
when he fought Warren the second time. Yeah, yeah.
Yeah,
I
he
know
said, you've got to make adjustments.
you got to make adjustments, and that's what Joe said. He said there's gonna be adjustments in the training camp. So there'll be no juggernaut iron chin. He's gonna see. And like people when he comes back, people he's changed. They're gonna be like talking to him like how they talk about AJ. He's changed. Well, what do you
Is he
think
still
is
with
gonna happen?
Ish? Is he still with Ishmael Salas then? Joel Joyce?
I believe so.
Okay.
But what do people expect? What you get knocked out and don't change?
Yeah, for
Of
real.
course he's gonna change.
Yeah.
I mean,
Yeah,
that's,
I mean, don't get me wrong, it was a good fight, but I was genuinely gutted for Joel Joyce because you won't meet a nicer fighter. Someone that's like a true gentleman, that's really just lovely and a lovely bloke. Do you know what I mean?
um,
So it's sad. Fair, congratulations and beautiful performance and that. But I did that. That was when even the first fight with the eye, I had to look away.
let's be real. He shouldn't have been in the ring second time in a few months after the first fight.
Well, as a fighter, what would I don't know. I can't sit there. I'm not a boxing manager. I'm not a promoter. It's hindsight's a wonderful thing because if he went in there and done him, we wouldn't be having this conversation. Unfortunately, it was the other way around. So it's one of
Well,
them, isn't it?
I guess I can sort of like brag because I picked Zhang to wipe him out second time around. So
Yeah,
I mean,
yeah,
like, see, all right. The first issue is the eye. All right, that eye blew
yeah.
up pretty bad.
Oh, it's terrible,
Yeah,
terrible.
shouldn't be going in. He shouldn't be going back in with a punch the next fight. Not until he shouldn't be thinking about fighting until this year. It's only that like that's what should have happened. You need like
Mm,
that eye needs to heal up, and the confidence. It wasn't like like people talk about AJ versus Ruiz, the first fight. Oh, the fat guy beat him up, but AJ was cleaning Ruiz up until he got hit, and that
Yeah,
turned
on the
the fight.
temple. Yeah,
There was
temple
no
shot.
stage where Joe Joyce had any control of the fight. The first fight with Zhang, there was no stage at all. Zhang was
Mm.
the master from start
I
to
still
finish.
think there was something wrong with AJ going into that Ruiz one fight. I'll never find out. No one will never tell me, but you can't tell me he was 100% going in that fight. He was moving all weird before he got in there.
Yeah, there was a few warning signs that I guess if you're a supporter like me, you chose to ignore.
Nah, I'm not. Yeah, I'm not even saying that because I'll sit on the fence. AJ's achieved so much, but I'm not a hardcore AJ fan. Do you know what I mean? But I do believe something was wrong with him. I remember watching the fight because like I said, I went to sleep because I'm thinking, I ain't watching this. He's gonna brock this geezer up.
Yeah,
So I went to sleep, and it was my husband. They got up, and the kids watched it. And like, so when my husband's coming like to bed, and I'm like getting up, I'm gonna go and watch this fight now. I'm like, oh, what happened? And he shook his head, and I goes, I said, oh, you're taking a piss. And he goes,
wow,
watch the fight. I says, what's happened? He goes, AJ lost. I goes, no, he didn't. Cap.
yeah, yeah,
He goes, he got dropped. I goes, you're taking the piss. So I
yeah,
went and watched it, saw him walk into the ring and all that madness. Saw him like moving around his jaw. His eyes were all over the place. I went, something ain't right with this geezer. But let's see. And then you see his dad kick off at the end, like he was ready to strangle Eddie. So I'm thinking, what's going on here then?
yeah. I tell you
You know
what,
what I
man.
mean?
Like that like I'm an AJ supporter. Like it is what it is. Yeah, and I also support Tottenham Hotspur. So we was in the Champions League final. I can't remember who it was
Okay,
against, and we lost 3-0. So I was already in a bad mood.
okay,
Like I watched
okay,
the game,
okay.
I was depressed. I was totally depressed after the game, and then
Sorry. Yeah,
I'm
shouldn't have.
thinking AJ's got to bring it home now. Like, and
Oh,
I'm like, that was the worst day of sports for me ever.
yeah. I felt like that when Dillian White got knocked out by Povetkin.
That was
I,
scary.
I know you. I know you might think, oh, but I did. I went silent. I just sat there, like staring at the TV, like, huh?
That was scary. That was scary. That was scary. Let me just do this super chat. Big up Anthony Mackin. He said knockouts cause fighters PTSD.
Yeah,
You're right.
100%.
Yeah, yeah. They do. They do, Anthony.
You know what Richard Rapport said to me, and that backs onto what Anthony Macken's saying there. Richard Rapport said to me when I spoke to him last, I don't know if Jordan's going to be able to recover from a loss like that from Jai Pattaya. And I said, what do you mean? Because certain types of stoppages mess with fighters, and it
Yeah.
takes a lot for them to come back. So that kind of like seconds what obviously Anthony's just put in the chat.
I dropped a link there for you, Anthony. If you wanted to chime in with that, Anthony's normally good for a conversation. Like yeah. I'm wondering how Joyce is gonna come back.
He'll be all right, man. I don't know who's going to fight. But, I mean, we look at the landscape. There's quite a few, I guess. Um, I won't let him fight Hergovich because even though this is all about the IBF for him, but Hergovich likes to do them rabbit punches, doesn't he?
Yeah. You know what they were saying is it could be Hergovich versus Parker next.
I favour Parker in that as long as Hergovich doesn't get him with the rabbit punches. Did you see when Deontay Wilder, speaking of rabbit punches, did you see him using a hammer fist?
That
The hammer fist on Parker. I was like, yo, what is that?
that's you know what he was doing when he realized he couldn't get the timing and Parker was like sensing when the right hand was gonna come over the top. He started panicking. That's why he started throwing the punches. He's panicking. Hammer punches. Like I was like, what is that?
I was like, yeah, I don't know. What was his corner telling him?
Well, Malik said. I remember Malik said to him, "Are you feeling blessed today?" What did
What?
you say? Are you feeling blessed today? I said, what
Are
is
you?
this?
I want to listen. Don't make me cuss no bad word on your live. You know.
He said, are you feeling blessed? I said, is this guy serious? You know what I mean? That he's not a trainer. You don't talk to the no.
God, that's terrible.
Yeah, BG London, he remembers that night, man. I had a bad that night was horrible, man. And then after that, I had all the AJ haters who support Wilder. They came all over the hangout,
Oh,
and
okay.
they were just throwing shots at me everywhere. It's just like,
Oh wow, you was
yeah,
catching
yeah,
strays.
yeah. Yeah, that was a hard day. That was hard.
Yeah, but you know what? You come back and and fair enough. If he stays with Ben Davison, I do. I did think. I don't know what's happening with Derek James, but I did think. Derek James was. In fact, I was listening to a rerun of one of your lives
Yeah,
when you played it when he said Derek James is the truth. I
right.
was listening to one of your not your lives, one of your uploads, and I was like, wow, look at that now. Derek James was the truth. And then you end up going to Ben Davison. Ben Davison, they obviously gel well because it worked. Um, and now obviously he's going to be fighting Ngannou, and I'm going to make the presumption that he's still with Ben Davison.
Well,
But
we're assuming that he still may go back to Derek.
yeah, it is an assumption. But I'm gonna make the assumption he's gonna stay with Ben.
Okay, we'll see. We'll see. We'll see.
I
But
can't obviously I
okay,
haven't got a crystal ball,
so,
but
so if it is more permanent and AJ beats Ngannou,
mhm,
Fury beats Usyk, and let's just have a
mhm,
dream
mhm,
scenario. There's no
mhm,
rematch clause. What if it is
mhm.
Fury versus AJ? What does Ben do? Because Ben seemed reluctant to commit to a
Th-
Fury Anthony Joshua fight.
Well, it's funny you should say that because that was the question that Gareth A. Davis asked Pulse Fight or something along those lines, and it was shut down. They shut it down. They wouldn't answer.
So
And
that's an issue. I mean, because that's one of
Gareth's
AJ's
come to the
biggest
point
strengths.
where he was saying he doesn't think Ben Davison would train either of them if they were to fight each other.
Well, that's
But
a
that's
problem.
just
Isn't it?
Gareth giving his 50 pence worth his opinion.
That's a problem, then, isn't it? Because like
Mm.
they're definitely training for Fury. So and that's one of AJ. That's one of AJ's career defining fights. It's a Tyson Fury fight.
Oh yeah, 100%. And I like the way that I like the trajectory that they're on. David Ganser from 258 said, we want to have options. We don't want to keep our eggs all in one basket. So they've got the Ngannou fight. That's one option. So that's a money fight, isn't it? That's the gladiator, the blood fight.
Yeah,
Then he's got the IBF with Hergovich to put himself into positions to obviously go for the vacant. And then obviously the big fight is Tyson Fury. And I think that's what they're building. Because why? He's just fought Wallin. Fury's fought Wallin. Now he's fighting Ngannou. Fury's just fought Ngannou. And fair play, because of that Fury fight, Ngannou's got more credibility going into this fight with AJ than he would have done if Fury hadn't fought Ngannou and Ngannou was coming in as a debutant against AJ.
right.
So you can see that that's the fight that they're building. And the thing is with the Saudis, they're not bothered about belts. They don't
No, of
care
course not.
about mandatories. They're
Of
like,
course not.
let's just let the people then fight.
And I also heard that Jai could be back in March, and they don't care about it. But they're going to just offer one of the champions or a credible challenger. You want to fight Jai? Here's the bag. There's the fight.
There you go.
Yeah, I love it now. See, Jai done the right thing because the IBF put him in a stinker of a position.
Hmm.
He
Hmm.
was ready to fight Bradis. He was ready to
Yeah.
fight. He said, yeah, and like
Brady's wasn't ready. Bradis was the one that said he wasn't ready.
That's
Mm.
crazy, man. Absolutely crazy. He done the right thing. Take the bag. Take the bag all day. Take the
Well,
bag.
you know, them man are peeling out. That, like I said, if you've got geezers holding hands on camera, that
Yeah.
is some serious money they're being paid.
So what do you think about the Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn thing? Like,
I love it. I love it. I absolutely love it. I'm in awe of it because you know why I'm in awe of it? Because you have Team Matchroom and you have Team Queensbury, don't you? And the
yeah,
fans that don't know either of the promoters will literally string up somebody else on Twitter in the name of who they back. And then guess what? The promoters then, they're getting paid. They're no longer obviously faced on face value enemies. They're working together. So I think it's brilliant. Because what's
100.
everyone going to say now?
There's literally no way out of fights for fighters now. If it carries
No,
on,
yeah,
yeah.
Yeah, that's what
Oh
I read
well,
as well.
I can't take the fight because I'm something.
yeah. It doesn't work. And to be fair, LT's just commented Ben Shalom's out in the cold. I did speak to Savage Dan about that, and they're saying that they are looking to that they will have fighters on Saudi, and I think the first one or a possible one is going to be Fraser Clark versus Fabio Wardley. I'm
Okay,
thinking that that's going to happen.
That's good.
and Ben thinks he can get that deal done. So what if Eddie? What if
Remember,
Fraser?
Fabio's free, you know.
Yeah, but what if Fabio wants to work with Eddie? Like,
Yeah, it's like I said, it's over their heads. There's the His Excellency Turki Al Sheikh. He's running it. It's not down. It's not even down to the promoters now, really, is it?
wow. See, the
If
thing
you
is,
think that that money has got Frank Warren and Eddie Hearn sitting together ringside,
well,
come on.
Ben needs to get in the mix somehow,
Yeah,
and he's kind of messed it up. Like if Riakpo had turned over Jai, and
imagine.
yeah, and if Fraser had turned over Fabio, they could be in the mix over there. But he played silly buggers, just like he did with Caroline and Rhiannon.
Well, it's funny you should say that because I think that fight might actually get made wherever it's broadcast. I think Eddie's going to come down like with a ton of bricks. Eddie's clever, and honestly, I do like Eddie. I like Eddie and Frank Warren because they're ruthless.
Yeah, they are ruthless.
They will literally push you down the stairs to get
Yeah.
to the bottom to get where they're going. And I'm sorry, it's the toxic in me, but I admire that because it's like they're putting themselves first. Sorry, but you don't win in business by letting everybody go in front of you, do you?
Well, the boxing promotion is more competitive than the actual boxing.
Yes.
That's the truth. I've got some videos to come, but I purchased a boxing news from 1967 on eBay,
Oh wow.
and it's basically it's all about the power struggle, like between Harry Levine, Duff, Jarvis Astaire. This is where it all started, and I still got to.
You need to do you really need to do a video on that, please. So fools like me can get educated.
Oh,
I'm
100%.
not a historian. I don't. This is all stuff that provides the backbone to show where we are today. I'm not telling you what to put on your channel, but I'd
No, no,
enjoy
no.
listening to
I
that. That would be
wasn't.
something that I'd be like, I could run and listen to that. Do you
I
know what I
wasn't
mean?
suggest people always make suggestions. I don't mind the suggestions. You know what I mean? That's good because people do want the history. They do want to hear the
Of
history.
course we do.
Definitely,
So
definitely here. We definitely want to hear the history.
Buddy
And
McGirt schooled me the other day, and I was loving it. I could have literally sat there in a blanket with popcorn.
what did Buddy
It was
have to
like I was
say?
because he was just talking about the history of boxing, he was talking about when he got betrayed by his manager. That was his manager
Al
for
Certo.
15 years.
Was that
Yeah.
Al Certo?
Oh, can't remember his name now.
Yeah,
I don't
he
think
was
it
in
was.
that.
I don't think it was. It was his trainer and his coach, I think.
Okay, I'm trying to think.
And he had a shoulder injury, and there was some kind of neglect or something with the surgeon. He took them to court, and his manager was supposed to be a witness for body, and he ended up going in there, even though the doctors were about to settle for this negligence or whatever it was,
Right.
possibly millions, and his manager snaked him, and then Body's lawyer phoned him and said, "I thought you said your manager was your friend." Because he weren't, because he's just sided with the doctor. So all of these things, these experiences, when you're speaking to these young fighters and the ambitious ones that are coming through, these are the people that they need to be sitting down and listening to, because history always repeats itself. Because if you think you're going to get a payout, are you possibly going to give your manager a cut out of that payout? You might not. So if somebody undercuts and goes to the manager, says, "Here, tell you what, I'll give you 100 bucks." What have they done? They've saved themselves millions to give someone else a change to snake their friend. This is business.
That's
Brutal.
business. It's business.
Brutal.
And a lot of the fighters, like they come up short because, like, they don't look at it as business. They look at it. Oh, I thought you were my friend. Yeah, you can't. No.
No, there's no friends in this.
It's kind of sad that it's business. We all say that it's business, but to a fighter, this is their life on the line.
Correct.
Come on, man, that's really bad. What you were talking about with Buddy McGirt, that's crazy.
Yeah.
Yeah. Bruce Gas, what's up?
Profit,
Yeah, look, man. You got like with Jai and the IBF. Man, forget the belt, man. It's business. It's business. You know what I mean?
Yeah, take your money, yes. He can go and take all the belts. He can get the belts at will. I've said it on record. Any of the champions, any of the cruiserweight champions, I do believe that Jai will beat them all. I do believe that.
Yeah, he will.
He's the
So it's
only
not even a problem for him to go and get the belts right now.
I mean, Chris Billy Smith has got a belt, but who is the most relevant cruiserweight? It's Jai.
Yeah.
They can say whatever they like, man.
The scary thing is, he said he's going to go up to heavyweight.
He will do.
Even though to me, he looks suited at cruiser, because he's not a massive cruiser. He's more shorter. The cruiser's usually quite tall, etc. I know you've got Chev Clark, similar build, but to me, I thought he'd stay at cruiser, but we'll see what happens with him. Because obviously, look at Alexander Usyk, a perfect cruiser. Now look at him, just cleaning up everything. Elevated to heavyweight as a super champion.
The big money's at heavyweight. Yeah.
Dwyer has been saying for the longest that
big money is at
heavyweight division. The heavyweight division is going to get invaded by the smaller, more mobile heavyweights, the cruiserweights. So this is what's happening.
Yeah, I totally agree. To me, boxing is getting better. It's more exciting. The controversy of everybody mixing together, seeing the American promoters, the British promoters working with the East. It's good for the sport. And we're moving towards more watching stuff online anyway. So it's not everyone that wants to buy tickets and go out and watch it. They'll have the family round or friends round and whatever, have a drink and watch it at home.
We might be in a golden age. We might be in an amazing golden age. To your point of what you were saying earlier, Turkey Al-Sheikh, he basically erased that whole on the side of the street, or you on that side of the street, you on that side of the street. He erased that. So now there's no excuses.
You belong to me now.
Yeah, so everybody got to fight. He basically became the WWF. He basically put, or Dana White, UFC. He basically put everybody under one umbrella. Right. So now you got to fight. There is no if and or buts, and everybody is reaching out for a dance partner right now. You got to get whatever dance partner you could get right now. But so Zilly Zhang and Wilder, that looks like a good fight because neither they don't have a choice. You got to fight now. I want to see
they could end
Caballero
up
versus
phasing the belts
Sanchez.
out. They could end
Yeah,
up phasing the belts out because
yeah, exactly.
you don't really need the belt. All you need in boxing is a winner stays on system and a
Yeah,
ranking.
yeah, I've said that. Tournament style.
Yeah,
Yeah.
winner stays on.
And you get recognized with one title. It doesn't have to be a belt. It can be a title. You are the lineal champion. You beat everybody else.
Yep.
You beat the man that beat the man. We don't need the belts.
I remember in the early part of this millennium when Barrera went on that run, right? And now, just after he beat Nassim Hamed, right? And that was for an IBO belt, right? And he had about 5 fights. He fought Eric Morales, Kevin Kelly, and Johnny Tapper, and he beat them all. And he didn't have no belt on the line.
See there?
I think one of them fights might have had a belt. Yeah, and he was the most popular guy down there.
Yeah, that's what's happening now. That's what it is. So I can't wait.
And I reckon even Saudi probably make their own damn belt just to take the mick.
Yeah, why not? Why not?
Put some money back into it if they've got their sanctioning fees. It's a double investment then, because then they'll start to get paid, won't they?
Well,
yeah, no more foolishness.
Monopolize the sport, and I think everybody knows that they are looking to.
Yeah, they're doing it with football, aren't they?
Yeah, that's right. That's right.
The way they're doing it, they could be very successful because there's no more foolishness. There's no more premature accolades. Oh, Tyson Fury would have beat this guy, would have beat that guy. No. That Floyd Mayweather BS is out of the window. You got to actually fight them now.
I'm glad. It's refreshing from a fan's point of view.
Yeah, it's beautiful.
I've got a chip off. I've got a fly off. Sorry.
Before you fly off.
Yeah.
O'Hara Davis. What look like? You got any sympathy for O'Hara?
I'm neither here nor there with it, if I'm honest. Unfortunate that he's obviously just been signed and he got clipped with a really good shot and never recovered. You live and you learn. Let's see what happens with him. I just wouldn't underestimate these 40-year-old rugged fighters, because in those 40 years they've got a serious amount of experience, and it just wasn't his night. But I'm neither here nor there about it, if I'm honest.
And very last one, I promise it won't be Natasha Jonas versus Michaela Mayo. What's your take?
Tough fight. I think Natasha is powerful. She's a power puncher. I've seen her in the gym. I know what she can do. I think it's a real solid, credible fight. I don't know if I can call it because I might be biased because Natasha Jonas, I get on with her. So I'm going to have to sit that one out, and closer to the time I'll make a more professional judgment. Yeah.
You could be biased, all right? Bias is okay.
Yeah, I don't know. Natasha's tough. Natasha's tough.
Natasha gonna beat up that gal. She's gonna beat her up, man.
Okay. Well, I did.
She's gonna beat her up. She's gonna beat her.
Yeah. I'm looking forward to it. I'm gonna do a watch along for that as well, because I'm not going there live, so I'll be online.
All right.
Doing the commentating. But Beats, we're gonna have to do this again. I've just got a flight. I've got to literally leave and go somewhere, and I'll be on my phone, and then something then follow me. So
appreciate your time. We've been looking at.
No, thanks for having me.
Yeah, no doubt. All right. Have a good evening.
So next time.
All right,
October.
All right, peace.
Yeah, man.
I like her. She knows her stuff, and she presents herself well. I've seen a lot of her interviews. She's doing very well. I like her.
Yeah, I want to go check out an interview with Buddy McGirt. I'm gonna go check that one out.
Yeah, I would definitely like to see that. Man, it's turning up now. Boxing is really showing up right now. I want to see the what's the card for Fury versus Usyk. They haven't announced the undercard. I want to see some good fights on that undercard. I'm really interested in that.
I think they could have Joe Cordina against Anthony Kakase. That's just basically um, Eddie helping out the card because Frank don't have no champions, man.
Yeah, he don't have any
He
champions.
ain't got no champions, man. He ain't got no champions there, man. Right? So Joe Cordina getting a nice Saudi bag, and Kakase is a Queensbury fighter, so Frank will get a shot, at getting a belt. And it's all pals over there with them two now, with Frank and Eddie.
I was kind of hoping that they would keep. I know this sounds a little messed up, but I was kind of hoping that they would keep it heavyweight, light heavyweight to heavyweight, as far as all of the cards in Saudi. Just light heavyweight to heavyweight, unless something big happened, like Tank versus Devin or something like that. But I kind of like that they focus on the higher weights. But we'll see. We'll see what happens. What kind of matches could be made. But I want to see Martin Bacoli in there when somebody dangerous. I want to really see what's going on now. Because Caballero beating Makhmudov, that was crazy. That's heavyweight boxing. That's crazy. So I want to see what's up. Even Daniel Dubois, Jarrell Miller. I want to start mixing these names. Where's Dylan White? I want to start mixing these names and start to see who's really who. Because we all thought Makhmudaliev was a monster, but he didn't look like a monster on the night. On the day of reckoning.
He sure did. They shot like Caballero shut him down.
Yeah, so I want to see if is Frank Sanchez really the monster we think he is, or is he just fighting people that he's better than? Let's put him in there with Caballero. Let's see what's going on. I want to see everybody.
He had a good win against F.A. Judgment, didn't he?
Yeah, he had a good win. We thought F.A. was a problem. We thought F.A. was the next Wilder with his right hand. But let's see now. I want to start mixing it up. But put F.A. in there with Joe Joyce. Let's see what's going on. I want to start mixing and making fights.
Yeah, I think Bush. He's still trading, Bruce Gas. He's still trading. Yeah, Ike's crazy, man. Ike's crazy. He'll get destroyed now, though. Get destroyed now. We kind of know he's been out of the ring,
man. Yeah, it's too long.
Yeah, too long now. Too long.
It's too long. You see, they talking about Hrgovic versus Parker. I don't know what to think about Hrgovic. I don't know how to take Hrgovic. I thought Dwyer said Hrgovic was the heir apparent. I thought it was Arslan Makhmudov. I thought he might have been the heir apparent because when you see him in his highlights and stuff, but that stuff don't mean nothing because I still think Hrgovic lost versus Zhang. Makhmudov, we saw what happened to him. Jarrell Miller, he's a mess now. It's like everybody gets exposed. That's what I love about the sport. You're gonna find out who the best is. You're gonna find out if you put everybody together. Wilder exposed. Fury even looking shaky right now. Counterpunch was just asking a question.
You're only as good as your last fight,
Yeah, you're only as good as your last fight. But we also know that the accumulation of fights will tell your story. Counterpunch was asking a question: did Wilder fight in Fury? Did it deteriorate both of their careers? Did it hurt both of their careers? I think it did. I think it did.
I don't think. Maybe the fights may have took something out of them that can always be argued. But what it is, man. They're fighting a varied amount of competition, and they're getting. People are seeing it for what it is. Like they're not superheroes, man. They're good fighters. They're not superheroes, though.
Yeah, but they were trying to freeze out Joshua. They were hiding in plain sight amongst themselves, hiding in plain sight, not really fighting the top opposition. And now time has went by. Joshua looked like, because Joshua's not in their class. He's not in their class at all. He's in the class behind them. They in their own little kind of mini era. So now they looking washed up. Joshua looking stronger, coming back bigger and stronger and harder. And I don't think they could deal with him. I don't think they could deal with Joshua. I think Fury loses to Joshua. I think he gets knocked out. I know Wilder gets knocked out. That's not even a question. So it's looking it's getting pretty interesting in here. It's getting pretty interesting.
Yeah, 100%, man. Definitely getting
it's getting interesting.
Very interesting, you know. You know what I mean?
Yeah, go ahead.
Lot to look off, lot to look out for this year, man. A lot to look.
Yeah, a lot to look out for. Right now, they saying Zhilei Zhang has the hardest straight left in the business right now. I believe it's him and Jalilov that have the hardest straight left in the business, and they want to put him in against Wilder, who's supposed to have the hardest straight right. I don't believe Wilder has the hardest straight right, to be honest with you. But that's the word on the street, right? Let's see let's see what happens. I think Wilder gets retired by Zhang. If he fights Zhang right now, I think he gets retired by Zhang. I don't even think it's close. I don't even think the fight goes past 4 rounds. I think Zhang knocks him smooth out with no problem. If he's knocking out a 280-pound man with his offhand, imagine what he'll do to Wilder 213-pound ass with a straight left.
Yeah.
It's over. It's over. It's over.
Wilder telegraphed his punches like he was against Parker.
Yeah. And we said, me and you, we've spoke about it plenty of times. I said I don't believe Wilder right hand is elite. At the elite level, I don't believe it's the right hand that we all think it is. He landed that right hand against Parker. He landed it like 2 or 3 times in the fight. Parker didn't go nowhere. Just saying.
Yeah, Parker showed a bit of a beard, man. He showed a bit of a beard.
Yeah, man. I'm just saying. So I want to start to see who's who and what's what. Put Joe Joyce in there with Wilder. I think I think Joe Joyce will survive the right hand, and hopefully he'll walk Wilder into something. But Joe Joyce is just so ridiculously static, and I can't stand Joe Joyce because he can't. To me, Joe Joyce doesn't even know how to throw a punch. To me, I've been watching boxing for years. He doesn't throw a punch correctly, but neither does Wilder. That's why he got a broken hand 8 times or something. So we'll see.
Yeah, Joyce said there's gonna be some adjustments when he comes back in his training camp. That's what I said.
He needs dance classes. He needs dance classes bad. He needs dance classes, break dancing, all type of salsa dancing. He needs dance classes. He don't need to be training in a boxing gym. He needs dance classes.
I don't know why he came in so heavy for the rematch. I was trying to work that out.
He needs fluidity. That's the one thing he doesn't have is fluidity. He needs to be able to be fluid, be able to surprise somebody with a punch. He can't surprise anybody in boxing with a punch. He doesn't throw punches the correct way. You see him work on a heavy bag. It looks like a 3-year-old punching a heavy bag. It's like ridiculous. I don't know, man. George Foreman was slow. You know, older Foreman was slow, but he know how to throw punches. Joe Joyce, I don't know what the hell he's doing there. He looks terrible. Joe Joyce, these are the terrible fighters. Joe Joyce, Lawrence Okolie, I mean, just horrible. Lawrence Okolie, he needs to like hang it up. The Malik Scott, remember when he was fighting, he was hard. Like it's hard to watch them. You know what I mean?
Man, Wilder, we'll see if Wilder can make the long trip back. Let's see. Some people think he can still be. Like the dominant force in the division. I don't think he can.
Not from what I saw. I don't think 213 is his proper weight.
He hasn't got the skills, man. He hasn't got the skills.
But yeah, he don't have the skills. But now he was dependent on his ferociousness. Now he's not even as ferocious. He gotta go back to the drawing board completely. But he can recover. He can make something happen if he get ferocious again and really start playing with his right hand, if he starts not playing with his left hand, if he starts playing with his left hand and get his left hand to be somewhat of a threat and then sneak the right in, he could do something.
And he tried to implement some movement with him against Parker. It's too late for Deontay to learn boxing now.
Yeah, it is. I mean,
he for years he said, "I don't have to." What did he say? I don't have to be. What was he?
He said, "I don't." He said, "I don't." You got to be right for 12 rounds. I only got to be right for 2 seconds. Yeah. That was his thing.
It's a silly statement. You're setting yourself up for failure in boxing by saying
Exactly.
Well, Ray Mercer said it. You gotta learn how to box.
You gotta learn how to box.
You know what I mean? Yeah. You gotta learn
how to box. Man. You gotta do. I thought you could add some small nuances to Wilder's game and help him to land the right hand easier.
George Foreman could box.
Yes, he can box. He ain't no joke. George Foreman is an amazing fighter. One of the most amazing fighters that ever laced up gloves.
George Foreman could box.
Yeah, no doubt about it.
I remember trying to school someone on a video when I said George Foreman, you like in his first incarnation as a pro, had good footwork. And you don't know about boxing. I said, no. You don't know nothing about boxing.
Yeah, he was raised up by Archie Moore and Sonny Liston. He knows what the hell he's doing.
Dick Sadler was his trainer.
Yeah.
It was a very good coach for him. Like, Foreman set a lot of his knockouts by footwork. By footwork. Yeah. I'm telling you, man, I see Foreman. Look, he was never going to be no Muhammad Ali.
No,
but Ali. But he could use his feet to position himself very nicely.
But anybody that says that you're wrong, they're stupid, because George Foreman in his later years showed you that his footwork was setting up his knockouts. He knew how to position his body and twist his hips and knock you smooth out. It was literally him he'll take a bunch of punches just to get his feet in position, and then it's over. It's over. Once he put his pivot foot in position, it's over. He'll twist his hips, hit you with something, and he don't got to twist much. You know, Foreman is a monster. And you're gone.
He's one of the ultimate heavyweights, is George Foreman. One of the ultimate heavyweights.
Heavyweights, yes, 100%. I agree with you 1,000%. He is no joke. I was just watching a George Foreman knockout today, and all he did was literally put himself in position in front of the guy, stood there, blocked a few punches, got hit with a few, and then just came out of nowhere with a left hook.
The best one is the Jerry Cooney one.
Yeah, that's the best one. That one is, oh man, that one is bad, man. The way he hit him with the left uppercut, then he walked past him and then turned back around and hit him with the straight right. He walked past Jerry Cooney like he forgot something. Past him.
I tell you what, man. I remember that day. I would just rewind, because it was VHS them days.
Yeah.
Rewinding that.
Because it's crazy, because he's a big man, but he's literally like walked past him he hit him with the uppercut that walked past him, that then like turned around like I forgot something and just hit him with the right hand. It was terrible, man.
And Cooney was doing okay up until that point. He was actually doing okay.
Yeah, but the power, he was. But the power that George Foreman possesses,
when George caught him with the first, it was about a 4 or 5 punch combination, and the accuracy of the punches.
Yeah,
he didn't miss one. Not one of them missed, bro. George was like, boom, 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 Cooney down.
You can't be getting hit by no goddamn George Foreman like that, man.
I remember when he threw that combination of Pierre Coetzer and he finished it with a left hook. I thought he killed him. I thought George killed him. Wow.
Oh, man. Evander said he went back to the corner and asked him, is his teeth still in? Remember George hit him so hard, he said he went back to the corner and asked him if his teeth were still in. That's craziness.
I remember when he was in the first incarnation, when he fought the Mexican, Jose Roman. And Roman made the clever He spit at George. He spit at George.
I don't think I saw this one. I don't know if I saw this one.
George fought angry. He tapped him while he was there. George was angry, bro. George.
He spit at George Foreman?
Yeah, he spit at George.
Oh my God.
He spit at George apparently. Yeah. And
George
wanted to kill him. I think George hit him while he was down, and he flatlined the Mexican. Jose Rock flatlined him.
George is a different type of. That's that country strong. What Joe Joyce says, the 5 times the density, the bone density, and all that. That's George Foreman.
He was hitting the bag the other day. I see him hitting with his sons in the gym. I said, damn, bro, this man's in his 70s, bro.
Yeah, he just built differently. Like, you could never be a wife beater if you George Foreman, man. Please don't say nothing to this man, man. Yeah. this guy will break bones in your face with a jab.
When you see George, you say, "Hey, you're right, Mr. Foreman." You know what I mean? You have respect.
For real, you gotta have respect. He's a dangerous man.
Yeah. Like,
and he got a chin. He got a chin. Like you ain't never seen him really get laid out. Ali, yeah, but really, other than that, not really.
Oh, great chin.
Yeah.
Like the Frazier fight, man. He lifted him off the ground with the uppercut.
Yeah. Oh, the Frazier fight was bad. That's bad business. I ain't never seen nobody get beat like that. That's because those punches hurt, man. This is concussive work. He's hitting you like a sledgehammer hitting you in the head.
Yeah.
That ain't cool, man.
Yeah. George, no doubt, man.
I think Fury and Joshua. I don't know if they ever go a fight. I think Usyk might stop Fury. He just might stop Fury.
Wow.
That's how bad it is.
What? How does he stop Fury?
Exhaustion and overall work rate, and Fury getting hit when a punch he don't see. Even though Fury handles punches that he don't see well, but Usyk is just a machine. And Fury ain't got nowhere to hide. He's too big. You can't hide in the ring at Tyson Fury. And everybody think, he has good footwork. He doesn't have good footwork. Not compared to a fucking Alexander Usyk. Hell no.
He uses his feet for a man that size. He uses his feet pretty well.
Yeah, very well. But that's not enough when you fighting a middleweight, as you call him, this guy is a monster with his movement and everything, his speed, keep catching you. And you hear John Fury came out today complaining and getting all upset because he knows. John Fury knows you're dealing with a superior athlete and a superior boxing mind. Usyk is a problem, man. We gonna all have more respect for AJ after the Fury fight. After the Fury Usyk fight, we gonna look back at AJ and say, damn, you did do pretty good against this guy. Especially in the second fight. The first fight he didn't do that great. But the second fight, he did very well and almost stopped Usyk in the 9th round. But I think Fury is not gonna be as competitive of a fight as you think it's gonna be.
You don't think so, no?
No, I think Usyk is going to separate itself. I think Usyk is playing games. I think he's a whole different kettle of fish. I think he lied, Usyk. I think he lied to the world when he fought Chisora, downplayed himself, lied again when he fought Witherspoon, downplayed himself, didn't show all his skills, waited for Joshua to come in and then opened up on Joshua. You saw real skills then. I still think he hasn't shown you everything that he could do. I think he's going to show it against Fury.
If Usyk can beat Fury, who can beat Usyk
then? I don't know. Right now, who could beat Usyk? I think the closest might be AJ. Because AJ got the physical attributes. The other guys don't have the attributes. Frank Sanchez, I don't know. Maybe Frank Sanchez, Caballero, and Joshua.
Wow.
I think those are the only ones that are close to beating him. Nobody else even stands a chance.
That's 3 good heavyweights there, man.
Yeah,
Camael, Sanchez, and AJ. Three good
yeah.
heavyweights.
I think those are the closest as far as high level skill, mental IQ. But I don't know if they're monsters. They're not killers like Usyk. Usyk is a real different type of human being. I know these type of men. I don't I don't know if Usyk and Caballel and Sanchez are of that ilk. I don't know if they could go to the well over and over again and keep being able to pull and pull and pull from the well over and over again. Usyk can. Usyk is about that life. I don't know if they are. He's the only like lunatic in the heavyweight division, like a real certified lunatic. He's the only one. He's what Floyd was when Floyd was fighting, like the actual lunatic that's going to run the extra 3 miles and 4 miles and keep running and keep doing it and keep swimming and Usyk is on that foolishness. He's going to be hard to beat. He's a very hard man to beat.
Yep. Wow. So a Usyk win, man.
Usyk win fucks up Anthony Joshua because Anthony Joshua has to go back in there with him. If Fury
I don't want AJ to fight Usyk.
Yeah, me neither. Me neither. Because he's just too hard to beat, man.
Yeah, he's too hard to beat, man. You see, you know what he's brought. Not the, he see so like let me say this right. He hasn't brought the amateur style to the pro game, but he's brought the discipline that he had from the amateurs and applied it into the pro game in a way that it's hard to like when he fought AJ the second time, that was worse than this. Even though AJ did better in the second fight, that fight was worse for me.
Yeah,
because I was screaming to play AJ's gonna win now because he was punching Usyk up. I think in around the night, right in the fight, and Usyk, the bastard,
came back in the 10th round.
Finish. I was like, after I was scratching my head after. I said, "What the fuck did I watch there?"
Yeah, it's hard to beat the lunatics. The lunatics, they don't even take a breath, man. It's hard to beat the lunatics, man. There's a reason why they lunatics, and he's one of them. And lunatic is a nice word. I'm using a nice word to describe him. I'm telling you, the guy is different. Him, Bivol, Beterbiev, these people are a little bit different, man. They on some other stuff.
That finish, that championship round finish, he broke Joshua that day, boy.
He did.
Mentally, he broke Joshua. I was like, whoa.
Joshua couldn't understand how he was this big, this strong, and still couldn't beat Usyk. Still couldn't beat Usyk. He hurt Usyk in the 9th round. Like he really hurt Usyk, and still Usyk came back on. I remember with Shane Mosley in the 2nd round when he caught Floyd Mayweather. Mayweather said to him in the ring, in the round, like, "Oh, you gonna have to kill me." That's the mentality Usyk has. Yo. He's a different breed, man. He's a problem, and he's extremely well coordinated. He knows where every inch of his body is at every moment of a fight. That's what makes Usyk really powerful. He knows where every single inch of his body is at every single moment of a fight. That type of awareness is very hard. That's ring IQ. That's what you call ring IQ.
Yep.
The guy is.
So you got any last thoughts of what you're looking forward to, like in the non? All right. Your last thoughts. I'll give you this one: Beterbiev and Smith. What are you expecting from that fight?
I'm expecting it to be a war, but I'm expecting Smith to land a left hook out of nowhere, like a catch and shoot left hook, and knock Beterbiev out. That's what I'm expecting. I've been saying it for over a year, I think now. I think it's been over a year. I've been saying Callum Smith is going to knock out Arthur Beterbiev. I've been saying that for the longest because Callum Smith is just way more spiteful, hits crazy hard at 175. He's just a killer at 175. I think Callum Smith is going to knock out Beterbiev. But that's a wild statement to make because Beterbiev has knocked out every single fighter he's ever fought.
Yeah.
I ain't going front. I know I'm going out on a limb here saying that, but that's what I think.
Like, okay, what's the science behind your?
But the science behind it is, I just think Callum Smith is different. I think this is his time. Beterbiev is getting older, a lot of injuries, and I've said over and over again, there's only 2 fighters in the entire sport that's doing this. Terrence Crawford being the main fighter, and Callum Smith being the second one. They're moved up from a lower weight, moved up to a higher weight, and they're knocking out everybody they fought at the higher weight. So Terrence Crawford done that at welterweight. He's knocked out every single fighter he's fought at welterweight. About 7 or 8 fighters. Callum Smith is doing the same thing at 175. He knocked out one guy. I can't remember his name right now, but the guy was a career light heavy. Callum Smith moved up to light heavy and knocked the guy out so bad that the zone wouldn't show the replay. The guy was shivering on the floor, was twitching and shit on the floor. I think his power is just dangerous. He's the anomaly out of his family. He's the taller, bigger, stronger out of his family. I think he's just different. I think this is his time.
He's a little different from his brothers, isn't he?
He's bigger and he's a whole different animal. He looked like he came from a different family, even though they all look the same though. But you know what I mean? I just think he's a different breed. I think it's his time. Every now and again you get an anomaly. Somebody steps out there that could really do it.
Like, who's the common opponent that he stretched out? Who Bivol fought? What's his name again?
That Bivol fought?
Yeah, he took Bivol 12. Callum iced it. I think he iced him, and his leg was trembling when Callum hit him.
The trembling. Yeah, that was the guy I'm talking about.
Castillo? No, Castillo.
Is Erickson begin with an L, right? Don't his name begin with an L?
It's a Spanish name. It's a Spanish name.
Yeah, it's something. I can't remember the guy's name, but he knocked the guy out bad.
On the floor, man.
Yeah, yo, he's no joke. He's very dangerous at the this weight. The only caveat to that is that I think the only problem I have with my prediction is that Liam Smith might not have ever seen Arthur Beterbiev, but Arthur Beterbiev has seen plenty of Liam Smiths. That's the only caveat I have with that. The tall, lanky, powerful. He's seen Arthur Beterbiev has been through amateur fights and he has a huge amateur career. Not such a big pro career, but he's seen everything. They've seen these styles before, but I think Liam could catch him with something because Beterbiev is catchable. Callum Johnson caught him, so he is catchable. When you get caught by Callum Smith, it's over. It's over.
And he's got Buddy McGirt with him as well, man. This fight is real. I'm telling you, Bryce, a real fight, bro.
Yeah, it's a real fight. I'm telling you. We in America and blah blah blah, but I'm going for the UK guy. I'm telling you, I think this one guy, I think he's special, man. I think he's special.
He's maturing now. He's 33. You know.
Yeah.
So let's
see. Yeah, he coming into his grown man strength. Yeah.
What's good, Bates?
What's up, Virtuoso?
You hear me? Okay.
Yeah, we can hear you. We can hear you, bro.
You hear me?
Virtuoso? Yeah, we can hear you.
All right. Yo, what's up? What's good, Ian?
Yeah, what's going on, man?
All right, man. Yo, just to start off, I want to say thank you to October Red for that interview with Buddy McGirt. You know, I learned a lot from that, man. You know, just listening to him, man. Some real shit that he's gone through, man. And yeah, that's a good interview. Y'all go check that out, man.
Yeah, I gotta see it. I ain't see it yet.
As soon as I break off here,
I'm gonna go for Beterbiev, this Saturday.
Oh, you going for Beterbiev?
Okay, can you give us a breakdown on why? You there, Virtuoso?
Hello?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Can you give us a breakdown on how you think it's gonna go now?
Yeah, I'm coming in choppy. Hold on.
Okay.
Yo, big fan Beats. Man, you can just call me FG. Yeah, but
what's up, FG? What's your take on tonight?
Yeah, man, it's good. I actually wanted to talk about something that you put on your community a few days ago about Saudi. Actually.
No problem.
Like, I just want to preface this, yeah. If there was a choice between seeing the fights in Saudi or not seeing the fights at all, of course, Saudi is the preferred option. However, I'm quite a young boxing fan, right? So I've been watching since I think the first time I really fell in love with boxing, Joshua versus White, the first fight, '02. From
Okay.
then, I've been a massive fan of boxing, right? And Fury, Wilder, AJ. I've been watching these guys.
One sec, FGI, yeah? Can
Yeah, yeah,
everybody
go on.
mute while FGI is talking? So, because there's a background sound, I'm going to mute as well. All right.
All right, wait. I'll take my headphones off.
Okay. Let's see if that's any better.
Can you guys hear me now?
Oh, that's much better. That's much better.
Yeah, sorry. As I was saying, yeah.
Yes,
So I've been
yes.
watching these guys for the last 10 years, right? And don't get me wrong, yeah. Deontay Wilder has pissed me off to no end. The ducking, the lies, the bullshit. But I'm not gonna lie. I felt sad watching him go out like that in front of a quarter full arena. I feel like these guys, you know, we've been watching them for the past 10 years. I feel like they deserve more. I don't feel like we should watch Deontay Wilder's career end in front of 200, 300 people. I feel like these guys deserve more. Like, imagine Joshua versus Wilder in Las Vegas. Spectacle. Imagine Joshua versus Fury in Wembley. Spectacle. But, you know, for the good and the bad, we've got Saudi. I mean, I appreciate them for putting the fights on, but the amount of time we've invested in watching these guys' careers, I kind of want the crescendo to be paid off. I feel like these guys deserve to fight on the grandest stage. Don't get me wrong, Fury and Garni was great to watch. They seem to fill that out more. But I don't know. I'll feel a little bit sad if we don't get Joshua Fury in England. And I don't know. I feel like maybe, I don't know. Yeah, to me, it just seems a bit depressed. Yeah, like, yeah. But what do you guys think?
Can I actually go ahead?
I
No,
think
go
that
ahead.
I just want to say that the reason why we're here is because Deontay Wilder and Tyson Fury has been dicking around with their careers. They've been kind of like circling away, circling around AJ. There was a lot of potential in 2017 to make big fights, but Fury fucked off. The rematch with Klitschko, got overweight and ended up losing his belts because of drugs. And Wilder kind of maintained his distance from AJ with promotional politics, and he ended up, picking on Fury, who was able to innovate his style and whoop his ass and expose him as a one trick pony. And AJ, just kept himself busy and kept fighting and just became, was still relevant, even if without the belts. He's still a money man at heavyweight because he stayed busy. He stayed true to his craft, and didn't play around with his career, unlike those two.
Okay. Yeah, no, I agree. I think in terms of integrity, like in terms of the integrity of the sport, out of those three, AJ's leagues above. But here's the thing, and this is what I personally think. Frank, Al Heyman, I feel like they managed to really damage AJ's career by back in 2018 when the first Fury and Wilder fight was signed. They went on this PR campaign about we're the two best heavyweights in the world. No one else can beat us. And you know what? If you beat the drum loud enough, right? If there's no dissenting opinion or the dissenting opinion isn't loud enough, eventually the masses are just going to start to believe it. And Fury and Wilder did such a good job of managing to convince the public that those are the two guys that inadvertently damaged AJ's career. And I know, I'm not sure if anyone else agrees with me, but to me, that Usyk rematch, that breakdown to me was a culmination of a lot of things. But I think the main thing is he's upset that he's done more in his career. He's fought the better opposition. Yet somehow people like Deontay Wilder, who's really beaten no one, is still kind of perceived in a better light. And that's the thing. Frank Warren is very like streetwise and wily. Like he had back in 2018, 2017, he definitely had the worst hand in comparison to Eddie Hearn. Tyson Fury, he just came back. He weighed 300 pounds. No one really, he didn't have that same star power that AJ had. But through managing the perception carefully, managing the narrative carefully, and being very careful as to who he fights, somehow they've managed to gain this parity. And I just don't know how they did it. And I think it's probably an example of, Frank being a rough, raw geezer from, the streets of East London.
Yeah.
Maybe Eddie just not having that, understanding of how to manipulate the public in the same way. And it's just a real shame because obviously, in terms of the integrity of the sport, as I said, AJ's leagues above, but somehow they managed to win this perception battle. And even now, if you notice, like AJ had an amazing performance against Otto Wallin. Like it's relatively quiet. Like you notice that when AJ has negative performance, everyone jumps on it. It's the biggest news story in the world. But because that PR campaign from 2018, 2017, it still kind of sits in a lot of fans' minds, especially in America. And I don't know what can be done. I think the Ngannou fight is a good step towards capturing the global audience and actually, showing his talent. And because I feel like a lot of Americans, like casual American boxing fans, they probably haven't really watched AJ since the second Ruiz fight. And I think this Ngannou fight is actually a good opportunity. So I'm actually really happy that he managed to get this fight.
Right.
Because I know the fan perception actually means a lot to him. He might not admit it. He might say, I'm in it for money. But you don't have a breakdown like that. Trying to explain to people, I'm only, I'm heavy. Like he's trying to convince people that just give me a break in a way. But yeah, what do you guys think?
I think that's attributed to like the media here. I don't know about the UK. I'm pretty sure, they have an oppositional like force in the media called Talk Sport. When it comes to like glossing over his victories and all that stuff. But yeah, they do celebrate the delight. To the delight of those few, they were happy that AJ lost to Ruiz and kind of gave credit to Wilder as if he was going to beat him via triangle theory. And as time went on, people started to realize that Wilder was pretty much a one-trick pony who did not want to fight, Joshua on his terms. So eventually, time is the bestseller, and all these narratives about AJ not wanting to fight Fury or Wilder, they're all going away. People don't believe them now because their recent performances, has exposed them as charlatans. Unfortunately, but yeah, I do kind of hold account the media at fault here because there's very few who do cover the sport with integrity.
Yeah.
And because you have a dwindling fan base of boxing fans in America, it's easy to get away with that stuff. And it's like, when you said that, Wilder could have had, a big fight here in America, well, he can't because the media, the fans here don't really care about boxing all that much. I mean, refresh my memory, but didn't Fury went on the streets of Los Angeles and asked people who was Deontay Wilder, and people were drawing blanks?
Yep, that's correct. I remember the video. You're correct. You're correct with what you're saying.
Yeah,
but I think go ahead.
Whoever's left, in boxing media that covers the sport, they usually don't cover that thing with honesty because they don't have that much of a stronghold in the sports journalism marketplace, So yeah, they have to fall to the whim of the promotional company to cover their guy, or they'll lose access to them. And so you have like Ring Magazine, who ranked Wilder ahead of AJ for how long, and based on what? It doesn't make any sense.
It's just perception.
It's just perception.
There's nothing
to accommodate the whimsical of the jingoistic boxing fan here in America.
Yeah, the American boxing fan is very upset with the UK. They're very upset with the UK for one reason, mostly. One reason mostly, and that's Lennox Lewis. They're very upset that they had to hail Lennox Lewis as this amazing champion and all of this stuff, and he's not from here. That was big, and then he did some blasphemous shit. Lennox Lewis did some blasphemous shit and beat up Mike Tyson. So like everybody's like so upset with the fucking UK, and now here comes this tall, handsome UK heavyweight and Anthony Joshua. He comes to America and he loses. Oh, look. So that's where all that garbage is really stemming from. And Fury is actually accepting the U.S. Fury is actually fighting in the U.S., accepting the U.S. He seems to be more American because he's boisterous and he speaks shit and talks all this bullshit. So that's what that dynamic is.
Right.
But Time will tell,
But
and
here's
I'm
the
telling
thing,
you, AJ gonna beat all of them.
Yeah.
Yeah, and I do think AJ's career trajectory, well, what's left of it now, I actually think it's going to follow a similar path to Lennox Lewis in terms of Lennox Lewis is only really regarded as, you know, the leading heavyweight of his era, kind of near the back end of his career. Because the truth always comes out in the end, right? And if your career is full of lies and deceit and misdirection, eventually that's going to be exposed. And I think that's what we're starting to see. And I'm happy for that.
Right.
And I think, you know, AJ dealing with Wallin was a good step. And I think him dealing with Ngannou way better than Fury did is also a good step. And I think, hopefully, that by the time it's all said and done, people are going to look back at it and think, you know what? AJ was the guy of that era. And that's what I hope happens, because it would be really fucking unfair. Sorry for the language. Sorry, it would be really unfair if after, you know, all of these hard fights, all of these mandatories, taking Usyk. Do you think if AJ didn't fight Usyk twice, do you think Fury would ever go near him? Absolutely no chance. He would never have taken him as a mandatory. It's only because he's essentially been backed into a corner with this Saudi money, and as a proviso to get in the Ngannou fight, I feel like Turki Al-Sheikh said to him, listen, if you want this easy money, at the time it was perceived to be easy money, if you want this easy money, you're not just getting the Ngannou fight and running away. You've got to sign for Usyk. That's what I think happened. And it's just, I think his greed has probably caught him in a bind, because I think he's gonna, I agree with what was mentioned. I think Usyk's really gonna batter him. I think he's gonna beat the hell out of him, and it's gonna be hilarious to watch. So hopefully, you know, the truth does come out in the end.
You know, before I got in the panel, I've been wanting to ask you Beats, do you think Ben Davison has a game plan that could prepare AJ for Usyk if they were to fight again for a rubber match?
It's too early to say. They're still bonding. So by the time a fight like that was to materialize, I'd say they would do. Yeah, they probably would. Whether they could carry it out is another thing.
I would say Ben Davison is asking for that fight. He's asking for that fight right now.
Yeah, he wants it. He wants it.
He wants that fight.
Ben is still a young coach, and he wants to prove himself. And with Anthony Joshua, he knows that he won't have a better chance to prove himself, like amongst the UK coaches, because he's not gonna. It's gonna be hard for him to be mentioned alongside the Eddie Futches and the Emmanuel Stewarts. That's gonna be very difficult. But amongst the UK coaches, this is big shot. Let me just say this though, right? The Saudi money, the Saudi game, the Saudi bag. To FGI, are you watching the fights live in the UK, like the stadium fights with Joshua and Usyk, or are you watching them on TV?
I've been to a few fights in the UK. So I went to Chisora Pulev. That was the last one I went to in O2, and I went to Joyce Parker in Manchester. So if I can't go, if I can't go in person, I'll buy the pay-per-view.
Because I'm interested to know, like, why does the atmosphere matter if you're watching it on television like that?
I think my perspective was where these guys are at in their careers. If we're gonna see the crescendo of their careers, I think the work all of them have put in deserves a better spectacle. Even Deontay Wilder, as I said, Tyson Fury, Deontay Wilder, age, we're all gonna miss these guys when they retire, right? In terms of, like, if you look down at the next couple of heavyweights, where's the charisma? Where's the star power? Even Deontay Wilder, let's say the third best, he has it. And I feel like these guys, for the work they've put in, I want to see it on the biggest stage. I don't really want to see it in a venue that kind of looks like York Hall. You can hear a pin drop. I don't know, to me, that doesn't contribute to the viewing experience, especially when I know if you take those same fights into other territories, it looks unbelievable.
I see. The thing is, I didn't get that watching the.
Yeah, I didn't either. That's why I'm asking.
The Fury Usyk, the Ngannou. I didn't get that. I thought it was a fascinating contest, and I guess I don't really. If there's a crowd there and they're shouting, screaming, that's all good. That's excellent. But once I've got the fight I want to see and it's a good fight, I'm not even in focus with the crowd no more. I'm kind of like see, when the boxers go in the ring, unless it's like an extreme situation where it's lockdown, the fighters they tune out from the crowd. The ones who've got in tunnel vision, they tune out, and I kind of tune out. And anyway, I've got the volume off for the most part. So to me, it's a bit of a strange.
Yeah, you don't care.
Debate.
No.
A lot of
you don't care.
Talking about the atmosphere, and I'm thinking that's never really been that relevant to me. And let me just finish my point before anyone jumps in. Yeah, like the problem boxing, heavyweight boxing, was running into without the Saudis was Tyson Fury picking voluntaries like Derek Chisora when nobody wanted to see it and putting that in a stadium. That was the problem. He was taking and you know, the bag has got him in the ring with Usyk finally. The bag has exposed Deontay Wilder because he wasn't ready to fight. And his skills are deteriorating. But the bag the Saudis offered put that L on his record.
I agree with you, Beats. I think two fights. I would mention just two fights real quick. Teofimo Lopez versus Lomachenko. That was no atmosphere. That was in the pandemic times or whatever. Nobody was really there. And the fight that had me screaming at the TV because I jumped up screaming. My sister was asleep on the couch. I jumped up screaming like a lunatic. Was the Povetkin Dylan White. I think that was at fight camp, wasn't it? It was at fight camp.
Yes.
It was nobody there. And that was still like the most amazing fight of that year. Like that was like everything, that knockout. So I don't give a damn about atmosphere. I care about the fight. Like I'm a boxing fan. I'm sitting there watching what they throwing and with their foot movement and what's going on.
Like for me, yeah, the ultimate one of the best things of the year for me, and it was the Caballero and Makhmudov fight, man.
Oh yeah.
Like without that bag, we wouldn't have got that fight. And like just watching him dismantle a guy, like, and I was shocked that like even before Simon Jordan was talking about atmosphere. Remember the one individual who was on the Hangout saying, "Oh, what's the matter with the atmosphere?" I was like, "What is he talking about?"
Yeah.
This is one of the best boxing
cards.
Look,
if you got the fights, the atmosphere is what is least of your worries.
Yeah.
Like I love the fights. I'm a boxing fan, right? I think maybe part of it is kind of like I would like to see Tyson Fury fight in person. I would like to see AJ fight in person. I would like to see Wilder fight in person. I was even having a look to maybe go over to Saudi, like for either the February 17th or the March 8th. Like who's paying £600 to go? It's just not. It's not even affordable. The ticket prices are affordable, like for the actual tickets, but the flights and the hotels they're not affordable. And I feel like this can be easily solved. Like Saudi have money to burn. Why not just offer, I don't know, an 80% flight discount?
The money's or an 80% hotel discount. Listen, the money the likes of Tyson Fury and even Eddie Hearn they want. The UK can't crunch the numbers. That's why we didn't get the Usyk fight until the Saudis stepped in. They were talking about Wembley, but Tyson wanted ridiculous money.
Yeah, no, definitely. And I do agree. If there was a choice between getting the fights in Saudi or not getting the fights at all, I'm going to choose Saudi. I think it's maybe like a nitpicky kind of selfish boxing fan.
But what if Saudi built a stadium? What if they built a big stadium? What happens then?
Man, that was.
Do they have enough people to fill the stadiums in that country? Like that's one thing.
I think so. I mean, Saudi, right?
Sorry, guys. Let me just address the chat. James says it's greed, isn't it? Well, it's not really greed, James. Like these guys are taking punches in the head, and they want to be compensating what they're compensating in, and they're entitled. You could call it greed, but they're entitled to get as much as they can, and that's what they're doing right now. And the Saudis are accommodating. Let me just I just need to shout out some of the chat, and then we get back to it. I want to big up LT said UK can't afford these mega fights right now. I want to big up BG says Wilder was blood clot clothes shopping with his wife. Yeah, he wasn't at the races, man. He wasn't at the races. Big up Virtuoso. I want to big up Tone. He says he'll have to beat Usyk for them belts. So Tone's got Usyk beating Fury. Big up Anthony Mackin. He says smash the like buttons, guys. Yeah, big up Anthony. Dior Binuli, long time subscriber. He says no BG. Wilder beats the Vernon Ortiz fringe bums and people talking like he was something special. BG tells him to chill. Big up Warlock. He agrees with FGI. Yeah, he's made some points. I mean, he's made some points. Some people want to see the fights back in the UK. Big up Jerome Benjamin. He says that FGI has got a point too. BG London. He says one fight away and Wilder pissed the bag. Big up Jam Down. He said he made a great point about dissenting opinions being louder. Yeah, that's a good. Yeah, he made some good points. Big up FBA. He says foundational but broken. Oof, that's hard. He's basically saying that Wilder stopped the Klitschko's unifying and AJ. He doesn't deserve any more money. Big up October Red. Appreciate your contributions today. I need to shout the chat out because you know what I mean they're always here. So Bruce Gass, Boxing Jazz and More. Big up Bruce. Hey Bruce, I'm going to use some of Bruce's gems. I've got it. The Hangout on video. I'm going to use some. He dropped some gems, man. Dropped some gems. I'm going to definitely make them resurface. Big up Susan M. He says that was on the AJ Usyk one undercard. My seats were so high up, I may as well have been sitting on the roof, but I could see homie quaking from where I was seated. Okay. All right. Let's see. Kieran Malcolm, big up Anthony, big up BG, big up Lisa Bells. Always big up Lisa Bells. You know what I mean?
Yes, sir.
Big up Lisa Bells. Big up Jam Down. Always big up Jam Down. Always big up Tone, Anthony Mackin, Gerard, big up Gerard. He said that's what Eddie Hearn said. He's replying. Case K, big up Case. All right, get back to it. Who was on the driving seat? I think FGI was in his stride. So I mean, I know he's got some points people want to hear.
I actually, so like, I look forward to seeing the fights, and I think Fury Usyk will be a better spectacle. I think it'll be a good fight as well. So yeah, I'm looking forward to seeing that one. And yeah, aside from that, there was a comment earlier actually about who can beat Usyk. This might be a bit controversial, but I actually think Joyce would have beat Usyk. I think before prior to the Jing Zhang fights.
Now let me say this.
Oh, let him out.
I actually think prior to the Jilly Zhang fights, I think when Joyce was in his stride, when he just knocked out Parker, I would have given him a good chance. I'm sorry, but one of the biggest reasons AJ could not beat Usyk is just the stamina. And we've seen in the heavyweight division the power differentiate, like just in between like individual fighters. Like as an example, Deontay Wilder made Tyson Fury look like a prime George Foreman. I swear, like the way Fury was battering this guy about, you'd think it was George Foreman reincarnated. He goes in with Ngannou, with even Chisora. He didn't actually knock Chisora out. Like it was just this guy's getting a disgusting beating. We need to stop it. Same thing with Ngannou, hitting him with clean elbows. I don't think Usyk could hurt Joyce, and I think Joyce has stamina.
No, he can hurt him. He definitely could hurt him.
You think Usyk can hurt Joyce?
Yeah.
Yes.
Oh yeah.
100%.
Zhang is a banger, man.
How does Joyce do better than what he did in the amateur fight with Usyk? He's struggling to close the range there. How does he change that? Usyk's a better fighter now. How does he change that?
I think he's heavier now. I think pre-Zhang, he could take a better shot, and I think that jab would have just been so consistent, and I think he just wouldn't have given up. And I think if he struggled,
if Joyce struggled with Zhang's southpaw stance, how does he cope with Usyk's?
Yeah, like what world are we living in here?
Zhang's a southpaw banger.
Yeah, but you said a jab.
No, forget that. He outboxed Joyce the first fight with his slow feet and no head movement. He outboxed Joyce.
Thank you. What world are you living in where the jab of Joe Joyce is going to land on an Alexander Usyk? What world are you living in with that?
I mean, the way he manhandled Joseph Parker in that fight, like I remember seeing Parker's teeth fly out. Like I just think I don't know. Like maybe like we all have our little weird.
Chisora beat Joyce, but didn't beat Parker. Didn't get the decision.
I mean, look,
AJ beat Parker by a UD. Dillian White beat Parker.
I mean, we saw Chisora. We saw Chisora give Usyk a life and death.
Yeah, that's what I said. I mentioned Chisora. Listen. But Joyce is not beating Usyk, bro.
Maybe not. I don't think we'll ever find out at this point.
Joe Joyce is spaghetti before you put it in the pot. But not what spaghetti look like before you put it in the pot. Alexander Usyk is once it's cooked, that's what Alexander Usyk is. The fluidity is way different, dog. It's not even close.
Listen, about the pricing, Ancient Hamden, he said he went to see Joshua versus Ruiz too, and it cost £400 in all.
I literally had a look for flights before I jumped on the call, and like the cheapest I was seeing was around 600, and I just thought I can't do it.
Big up Dr. Wu, John Dealey. Yeah, sorry.
I was just gonna say, if I were to go to watch that fight live, I'm going straight from the airport to the arena, and then from the arena back to the airport back home. Forget about that stuff. Like, yeah, like, listen, I just wanted to state that, because these fighters want these valuable purses, man. Like, yeah, it's gonna end up pricing out, working class, fans, that they're gonna end up in places where they're gonna get that back.
Yes, sir. I
That's
see
how it
Brian
goes.
Jennings outbox Joe Joyce and didn't get the decision.
Yeah,
and sorry,
that body
Brian
shot.
Jennings, I like Brian. I like Brian's personality, and I like him as a fighter. He's a very good fighter, but he's not as good as Usyk. I know he's like two different stances. He's not as good. Joe Joyce is very good, but his styles make fights, and he's too limited for certain styles. Anyone like who's got speed and like a ring craft like Usyk, he's got trouble. You watch him against Berman Stavern.
But Stavern, I was about to say that. Didn't Berman Stavern hurt Joe Joyce to the body?
But I mean, don't you think there was a part of Joyce, especially again pre-Zhang, that kind of fought to the level of his opponent? And I feel like he would have been really up for that fight.
No. You can't say somebody's fighting to the level of their opponent the exact same way. You can't say that. No.
So
Joe Joyce is not ready. Joe Joyce is not. He's not nowhere near ready for Alexander Usyk in the pro. No, dog.
I just think he's limited. I think the only aspect of him that gets him through fights is his power and pressure. But again, you have slow feet. You have no head movement. You
slow hands.
By every punch. Slow hands, exactly. The timing and rhythm is not going to be on his side.
Have you seen the amateur fight between them? Have you seen them?
Yeah. I did see it. But one thing I will say is,
here's the thing. Joyce's coordination is still the same as it was then. It's still the same.
Yeah.
And he was faster then.
Yeah.
Jesus Christ. I don't give him no chance against Usyk.
You think the guy who lost to Zhang could beat Usyk?
No, I don't know. I think the boat has passed on that. It's just one of those. I don't know. It's just one of those weird. It's one of those weird predictions that I've always maintained that I feel like Joyce could win. But you know what? We'll never see it. And
I mean, we make.
Have you seen the sparring footage of AJ outmaneuvering Joyce?
Yeah, he was walking him around.
He was dog walking him, hitting him with speed in both hands, man.
AJ's feet are about 3 times as fast as Joyce, and Usyk's feet are about twice as fast as Joshua's.
Jesus Christ, I don't know how.
Beats, I don't think Gary Davis has seen the sparring footage yet.
I tell you what, bro, Joyce's nose would be busted by about 4 or 5. He'd be struggling, bro. He'd be struggling.
I say before that. I say in the second round.
Christian Hammer was lighting up Joe Joyce. Carlos Takam was lighting up Joe Joyce. Jesus. Do you know how much opponents have lit up Joe Joyce before he ground it down?
Yeah, I don't know. I feel like I'm Eddie Hearn right now. I could just see it.
No,
I could just see it.
I said I answered Beats' question with 3 names. I said Joshua, Caballero, and Sanchez. They might all lose Usyk.
Cabrera would
this
have a
is
field day
close.
with Joe Joyce. Cabrera's
Oh
got
God.
all wrong for Joe. All wrong. All wrong for Joe Joyce. All wrong. Because he's not going to square up on him. He's not going to square up.
Did
He's
you
not going to square up. If you don't square up on Joyce, he's got problems, man. If you don't square up, got
Yeah,
problems.
if you're not somewhat of an orthodox fundamental fighter against Joe Joyce, if you come out here with that weird stuff, he don't know. He can't think in the ring. He doesn't make adjustments in the ring. No, man. I'm sorry. That's a bad prediction.
Can I ask you guys a question? Do you guys think there might be, because I actually rewatched the AJ Usyk second fight, and I forgot what round it was, but AJ hit Usyk with a legal body shot, right?
Yeah,
and
nice
this guy
round.
stops the action and looks to the ref, and he's done that in every single heavyweight fight that he's had. It's been a legitimate shot, and he stops the action. And what he does, he's trying to control the psychology of the fight. So he's looking towards the ref before the ref takes any action. He looks towards the ref, and he's kind of like trying to referee the fight himself. And it does my head in, because I feel like if AJ just pounced on him at that point, because the referee didn't intervene, he stopped and he looked.
I don't know what AJ was playing at. AJ was refereeing the flipping.
No, Usyk referees the fights. In my opinion, I feel like he referees his own fights. I feel like whenever he gets hit with a legal shot or a borderline shot, he's always looking towards the ref. He's trying to, and I hate it. And I like Usyk, but I hate that about him. He does it in every single fight.
There's a bit of gamesmanship in him that really gets people under the skin, But again, you gotta be able to break him down, through body shots, and he doesn't like that. So you can't be discouraged by that, if the ref's not calling it. I mean.
Yeah.
Like I give AJ credit for his performance in the second fight. I thought it was better than the first one, but Usyk just finds his second win in the championship rounds. That's what happened.
He's done that. He's done that in several. He done it against Brady. He done it against Hunter.
He does it so much.
He done it against Tony Bellew. He done it against Chisora. So it's not a fluke. It ain't a fluke.
You just got to be able to beat him. You gotta fight this fighter on every single level. That's the difference about Usyk. You got to fight him mentally, physically, endurance-wise, everything. You got to fight him on every level of the game. He's a different breed.
Okay, now let me just say this. Now, I have heard a lot of people share their grievances about Dubois hitting him with a legal body shot. Now, I saw at first glance, it did look kind of legal, but I heard a noise and it sounded like the foul protector. Now, people are saying to me that he would have won. Now, if the ref would have counted him, you think Usyk would not have gotten up from that? Since they say that he was acting, quote unquote.
No, I don't think Usyk would have got up from that punch. I don't think Usyk would have got up from that punch. That punch wiped him out. No, but did you see how he was laying on the ropes? He was laying with his neck on the bottom rope, dog. And he was hurt.
He definitely could have got a BAFTA and an Oscar for some of that.
If he would have got up, what would have happened? He would have got destroyed. If he would have got up in the moment.
I would have liked to see that if
I still say that the punch was legal.
That's fine, but if the ref called it, then you gotta at least try to be more focused and be more studious at landing to the body. You shouldn't be quote unquote disheartened. Like, what's wrong with not hitting him into the rib cage, hitting him on the side around the elbow? What happened to that?
He did that. Daniel Dubois did that right after Usyk got up. Daniel Dubois hit him on a few shots, and then like to the guy's point, Usyk started looking at the ref and everything, and they were legal body shots, clear legal body shots. And he started looking at the ref and playing that game.
If the ref doesn't call it, then you should continue. And besides,
you got to be. Daniel was
getting away with his shots too. Like there were times where he landed on the side of his hip, below the waist, because the trunks are up high, and so are his. I mean,
let me give you a good name for you. I don't think he'd win. A juiced up Gerald Miller.
I was about to say that.
Yes,
I was about to say that. Yo, the I don't give a fuck. The I don't give a fucking Jarrell Miller would have bulldozed Usyk. Yes, I agree with you 100%. Beats.
Fat forearm.
I was about to say that before he said it. I can't believe that.
But you'd have to be juiced up, though. You'd have to be juiced up.
You'd have to be probably juiced up.
You'd have to be
And
juiced
it can't
up.
be like slow feet. But yeah, man, the volume, the pressure would have gotten him. Yeah, I think so.
You need a little bit of Brooklyn.
If Chisora could take some rounds of him, a juiced up, like Miller.
Miller
Miller would walk for his shot.
See,
Miller could definitely.
That's what Dubois needed.
Miller could definitely walk through his shots. Miller could definitely walk through his shots. You need a little bit of Brooklyn to beat Usyk. You need a little bit of I don't give a fuck what he's talking about. I'm gonna take his head off. I'm gonna hit him right down.
Del Boy tried. He didn't have that.
He tried, but Del Boy don't got the.
He didn't have the gas.
He didn't have the gas. That's what it is. He didn't have the gas.
Yeah, but you also like as Chris just pointed out, his arm was shaking, wasn't it? One of his arms was shaking when he was down against Daniel Dubois. He looked serious at one stage. His arm was shaking.
Yeah, I think it was still a legal punch.
I think. Look, I thought that because of the noise that they must have been rattling around, that it might have caused some discomfort down there, But I think he would have gotten up for that. I think he would have.
I think he's like one of the more average to mid-size. Like I'd be a Borshi would have been problems for you, say.
Ooh,
yes,
it would have been problems because he would that grandstand finish against that'd be difficult.
AJ.
You find it very difficult to pull that off against Ike. Very difficult.
You talking about Ike Bayabuchi?
Yeah, Ike broke down Chris Bird. But listen, Chris Bird was beating David Tua. He beat Holyfield. He beat a few names. That like Ike ground and listen, Chris was just as elusive as you. I'm not saying he's as good. He was just as elusive and hard to pin down. And Ike grind down Chris. Punch spit out of Chris's. Was it snot or spit? Come out of Chris's boat race. One of the right hooks, boy.
This sport is an amazing sport. You never guess the person that will beat Usyk. Somebody will walk in there and beat Usyk comfortably, easily, hurt Usyk, and probably knock him out. But you'll never be able to guess the person.
That's very true. That's very true. That's
the beauty of the sport. It might be Moses. It might be Moses Atama, for example. You don't know. You don't know.
It might be Jared Anderson.
It might be Jared
Anderson off because of what we saw against Charles Martin. But it could be anyone. It could be
anybody. You don't know.
Maybe Wilder cocks back a right hand. Bam!
Bam! Exactly. You don't know. But he is beatable. He is beatable. Right now, he looks like he's not.
Yes.
But he is beatable.
All of them are beatable.
All of them are beatable. All of them are beatable. I agree.
They're not all perfect.
Mm-hmm. You just don't know who it's going to be. It might be Fabio Wardley. He's a nasty piece of work. He's a nasty piece of work. Once Usyk catch him one time on a good straight left, he gonna turn on. And now we know who Fabio Wardley is. We know how he reacts. It might be him. You never know.
That's very true.
I have a question. Do you think that Jalalov can have that same level of maintaining of distance, on the inside, like say a Beterbiev would?
Beterbiev doesn't maintain distance well.
I didn't see Jalalov move up the levels.
Right.
Before I give an assessment on that.
But Beterbiev doesn't maintain distance well. But Beterbiev doesn't maintain distance well. You can fight Beterbiev anywhere in the ring at any time. That's the good thing about him. He can fight long distance, short distance. He'll jump inside. He'll jump out. Beterbiev is a problem.
BG. You say nobody gave Miller credit against Dubois. I gave Miller enough credit. Miller took some serious shots and made it a great fight. I gave him credit. So I don't know if I don't know if you're addressing over here. I gave him credit. Oh, Case said it was spit. Yeah, he punched the spit out of Chris Bird's mouth. I abortion. That was savage, man. And Chris was out boxing him for a few rounds, And then when Ike just start letting go of them hands, there was nowhere to go. There was nowhere because Ike would just flip on you. He would just flip. You know what I mean? And see, boxing, like I mean, like it's the boxer's character. Because Ike had that flip. So one time they said, because he was a bit schizo. He was one of his sparring partners was in the gym, and Ike thought that he stole something from him, the sparring partner, and he just attacked the sparring partner. He's just crazy. He was just crazy.
No.
Just crazy. He'd go from 1 to 8.
He want to kill his wife?
He'd go 1 to 8 at any time.
Yeah.
Lou DiBella said there was a dinner one time, and so they're sitting down having dinner, and there was 2 incidents Lou spoke about, and Lou said, "Oh, Ike, where you living now? Why do you want to know? So you could come to my house and do me." And Lou got paranoid. Lou said another time there was a dinner, right? And Ike took the knife, the dinner knife, and he went bang in the table. So they're trying to deny me my shot at the title, and everyone was just like shook.
That's the dinner when he was screaming, "I'm the president! I'm the president!"
Yeah, he's crazy.
Yeah, I think he was suffering from CTE though. I think he's like a Jermaine Taylor.
The fight gave him issues, isn't it?
I think he's like Jermaine Taylor. He's suffering from CTE real bad. So I don't like to make fun of people. You know, we boxing fans.
Fight is one of the best heavyweight fights ever. The two IBF Usyk, one of the best heavyweight fights ever.
And then I'm hearing recently that he's making a comeback.
Yeah, I heard some stupid shit.
Wow.
Yeah, man. All right.
Man. I just wanted to say, I just want to say this real quick. I think Francis Ngannou is going to be in for a rude awakening against Joshua. He thinks are sweet just because he knocked down Fury. Oh boy, I can't wait for that fight. I'm actually want to see that fight.
Yeah, that's going to be. I think he's going to find out that Joshua is the fastest, biggest man he's ever met in his life.
Oh yeah,
Joshua hand speed from the first time I saw Joshua, first time I laid eyes on Joshua, I thought, all right, yeah, he a big guy, okay, UK, he's a handsome, muscular guy, okay, whatever. Let's see what it is. And his hand speed amazed me off rip. I was like, oh God, this guy's a problem, and he hits hard. Yeah. I think Joshua's a problem, yo. I think Joshua's a problem for every heavyweight on the planet. I think it's hard to go up against Anthony Joshua. To actually have to fight this man, I think that's a hard task.
Right. I remember watching him first on Showtime against Dillian White. No, that was a banger. But I wasn't too sure on AJ, because at the time I think Luis Ortiz had a regular belt, and I was kind of wondering what he would do against a moving target like him. And it's like, well, the politics didn't really make things happen, and he didn't want that fight. So when I saw that fight against Klitschko, he really turned me into a believer. That dude was ready to put the heavyweight division on his back, and he did.
Yeah, he's a problem. What's the first fight you saw from Joshua? My first fight was either Kevin Johnson or Cornish, and then I went to the Dillian White. What's the first fight you saw from him?
I would say the Dillian White fight.
Oh, the Dillian White fight. Okay, yeah, that was that was a good fight. That was solid.
I first started in the Olympics, man. That's when I first started in the Olympics.
Yeah, I had to go back and do all the homework to watch all of that stuff. But Joshua is a problem, man. And I think he beats Hrgovic. I think he knocks out Hrgovic. I think he knocks out a lot of these fighters.
I think he beats Hrgovic. I definitely think he beats Hrgovic.
Yeah, I don't think Hrgovic is what everybody says.
Hasn't progressed. Like you know what I mean?
No. Hrgovic Parker, what do you guys think? See, that's been discussed.
Hrgovic Parker.
Boring fight.
Anyway, Joseph Parker.
I just don't see the styles gelling up very well. But yo, at this point here, gentlemen, you know what I mean? I'm gonna call a halt to proceedings, and you know what I mean?
All right.
Been all you.
Do your thing, Beats. Respect to October Red. Respect to everybody on the panel. Much love, guys.
Thanks for having me on, Beats. Appreciate you.
Yeah, thanks.
Good night, everyone.
No problem, man. No problem. You brought up some good thought-provoking topics, so no problem.
Cheers, guys. See us.
All right, man. I am. Big up. Virtuoso. Big up. Diobinoli. He said he saw AJ in the World Championships in the amateurs after Steve was raving about him for years. Yeah. All right. Lance Mayo, big up. Peace.